Welcome everybody to another session of A Night on the DL. We'll find out if everybody dies today, as per usual, and take it away, BigYin, with your awesome recap.
Yeah, well, we're gonna continue in this kind of lame-ass style. So,
And this is why
yeah.
everyone dies.
Thankfully for not, because I use note. Unfortunately, thanks to using Notepad, I didn't save my notes. So,
He's switching over to Google Docs.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
sponsorship's gone now.
Notepad plus plus.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, basically, we woke up at the tower. We got our letter. We were given some additional advice, and we were basically shown out of the tower to the edge of the territory. And we started making our way towards the location where the river captain was, on the off chance, because we were told that basically he had information we might need to, work on our further quest in terms of locating that party out of Erebor and or Mirbar, and then as well as kind of finding out more information about the cultists. On our travels, kind of uneventful initially, and then we run across a hill giant guarding a river with some Aarakocra. Not Aarakocra, Onken. What are those giant ant things called?
Onkegs.
Onkeg.
Oh.
He's close.
As the BigYin could speak giant, he thought he could reason with the giant and just kind of, talk our way out of it and just say, look, you hang out over there, we're gonna go this way. And the giant wasn't having any of that. The dude literally had like all sorts of bits of metal shoved into him, and he's like, oh, I fucking want to look like this, goddammit. I'm gonna eat you because I can, motherfucker. And a fight ensued, and I got yelled at because clearly I fail at talking our way out of things. And suffice to say, we killed the Onkeg. We killed the giant after a very difficult fight. Ice Knife got used a lot.
Wasn't that bad.
It's pretty rough.
Super difficult. But it was touch and go a little bit. And we looted the giant, and then we kept going, and we got to the castle, or the location, which turns out to be kind of like a river.
Cut in real quick. We noticed that the giant was.
Oh, that's right. The giant had emblems on him referencing the Earth cultists that we had seen. So that kind of piqued everyone's interest, and it looks like the Earth cult. We are definitely in the Earth cultist territory, and they're kind of marking what's theirs. And so even more signs that they are kind of involved in the mischief that's going on around the area. And so we got to the fort where the river captain is. We showed our letter to get in. We were brought before the river captain, and we kind of all introduced ourselves. We're all talking, and then the guy's like, he notices DQ kind of standing in the back, and he's like, DQ, and that's where we ended.
Yes, I'll fill in a couple gaps. So you guys chatted up with Thurla and Savra, trying to get more information on like different areas that they could go. They kind of pointed out to where they often have skirmishes with the Earth cult. You guys initially thought about going there, but reasoned afterwards that probably meeting up with the riverboat captain first was the better idea. And then it was a little uneventful. About 2 days into your travel, Elwarin and BigYin heard the giant movement. Elwarin kind of understood what it was. There's a lot of just hill giants moving around and other giants moving around in the mountains. Then about a day later, you guys found the blood fray giant. It was not a hill giant. It was a blood fray giant, which is a different type of giant. So then you guys kind of made your way through, and we ended with Jolliver kind of seeing DQ and saying, DQ? Somebody's mic is echoing. Let me find out whose that is.
Tell me if it's me. I've had an issue before with this one.
I think it was you. Yeah, it's picking it up a little bit if I talk too loud, so...
Let me, I'll turn you down. I'll fix it.
Yeah,
I think I just turned you up previously.
Yeah, no worries. Cool. So, here we are. DQ? DQ Blizzardperson? Is that you?
Yeah, it is. Who are Who are you?
Well, you know who he is. It's Jolliver.
Right.
Grimjaw. You know who this person is.
How do you know me? Is a better way
That
to
that,
say
that is a much better question.
That's the question I meant
yes,
to ask.
that is the question you meant to ask. That would make more sense. And you just see him do a deep sigh, and he puts his hand on his head, and he kind of shakes his head, and he's like, "All of you but Urshna out." And the two people sitting over here kind of look at him, kind of confused. He's like, "Just, I'll explain once we're done." And both of them just wander out the door.
I mean, us two are.
No, he's specifically talking to the two at the table. That's
Yeah,
why.
and Ulrich's like.
I was gonna say, like, who are you gonna tell me to leave?
Well, he is the captain and like the ruler of this keep. So
Like Ulrich, like goes.
Do we know that?
Ulrich makes a stand up, like.
Yeah, I forgot. Do we know his position of power currently?
you understand that he kind of runs this place based off your talk with
Okay.
Savra and Thurla.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
That's why everybody seems to listen to him.
Gotcha.
Like
So he
the
like
other...
goes to stand up and is like, "So is that us?" Or
No,
And then he sits back down, like, oh, "Okay."
Yeah, so I was just talking to those two. And Urshna kind of just looks over at DQ, and she's kind of like looking them up and down a little bit. And you guys kind of look at her, and you guys, I need all of you to roll a history or nature check for me.
Do I look funny to you?
Maybe.
Oh my god.
Oh boy, these rolls are great.
You said history or nature?
Yeah,
I got
history or
seven.
nature. Yeah, history or nature.
No, I'm -1 in both of those. How do I decide?
I'll let you can.
Wow,
you
we
can choose.
killed it with a 666.
That's
Well, we-
amazing.
Get him out now.
Land.
Hey, Lando, let's go.
-1.
Lando, tell me about my.
We got your
Yo,
smart
brother.
boy. Your smart boy still hasn't rolled yet.
That's true. That's true.
There's a possibility here that the smart one can remember and understand what's going on.
He just doesn't care.
I guess he doesn't care. Yeah, Eustace, we're waiting on you. If that wasn't clear, he's muted up.
Oh,
He did save you. He saved all of you. So
God.
when Eustace kind of gets a better look at Urshna, he realizes this is a fathomer. Fathomer are like water-like elementals. They can make their body take plenty of different forms, like water. They're shapeshifters, but not in the sense that like they can turn into a dwarf now. More like they can manipulate their body to go into different like widths or heights or lengths accordingly. So they can like go through the cracks of doors or like go through keyholes, etc. But yeah, they pretty much represent the chaoticness of water as a species. They get angry pretty quickly, but they can calm down fairly quickly. Their emotions can kind of go up and down as the waves do in the ocean. Yeah. So that's what this is. over here.
Have we
Cool.
ever seen one of these before?
No. Well, one of you has. They may not remember.
How do you spell the guy's name again?
The person's name is Urshna. Urshnora. Or sorry, Urshnora. That's on me.
I was gonna say, yeah, that kind of.
My bad. I didn't see the R-A. I thought it was just O-R. I thought it was just the A. Urshnora.
And Urshnora is a what?
Fathomer. It's a
Okay.
like water elemental kind of,
Yeah.
but they're more people-like. Water elementals
They're
are
a
just...
sentient. They're a sentient water elemental that actually can take on a humanoid form.
Yes, but they can also change their form to like water to do different things.
That's dope.
Users would know that they're great at infiltration, because they can, squeeze their way through closed doors and keyholes and stuff like that. And she's just kind of looking DQ up and down with a interested look on her face, we'll say.
I look at her up and down and mimic that.
Sure. And Jolliver, kind of taken aback, looks over at the orc and says, "And you are?"
Yeah, I'm useless.
I see. What is your specialization? I'm a little confused with the glasses.
A wizard.
He gets that a lot, by the way.
Yeah, you don't see too many orc non-melee fighters. Got it.
It's one of a kind.
Yeah, then he finally points over to the small, short one in front of him. And you, sir?
Wait, sorry. What was the question?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who am I? Oh,
Fun facts.
My name is Lando. Who am I speaking to? Am I speaking to the big guy?
You're speaking to Jolliver, yes, as
Jolliver.
Jolliver Grimjaw, the...
Jolliver Grimjaw. Well, my name's Lando.
Very nice to meet you.
As you can tell, I'm not very bright, especially today of days. Oh.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We all have those days.
Yeah.
If you'd all could take a seat at the table, that would be helpful.
I'm going to stand over at the end of the table.
Okay. And he kind of motions to you, DQ. He's like, I'm guessing you remember nothing.
What do you mean by nothing?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Nothing could mean a lot of things, to be fair.
You are a lot of things, to be fair.
I like your humor.
Right?
What did you say?
Nothing usually implies nothing, right? A lot of things is something, whereas nothing is just a one.
Perhaps.
You know, you guys are having a moment. I'm gonna let you talk.
And
Ulrich.
he just kind of looks at you with like confusion
I
on
have
his
much
face.
more respect with your view on philosophy.
And he says, "Okay, what's the last thing you remember, DQ?"
The very earliest memory, or the last thing that happened
Well, one second.
since.
Hey, wizard, do you have like a silence spell? Something to like prevent others from hearing into conversations or something?
No, do I?
He said wizard.
Oh, I thought you said lizard.
Well,
Or blizzard.
Wizard and lizard are fairly
Yeah,
close.
I thought you said lizard.
Definitely said wizard. I apologize.
Okay.
We need to go back to the VOD and see if he said lizard or not.
What are you playing? Anyway.
Yeah, I'll find out.
What do I have?
Let me get out my sonic screwdriver and
think
rewind time for a
I
second.
think that's his way of maybe saying that you probably have it, but I don't know.
I have too many spells, man.
That's true.
He's gotta read through.
You're too good now.
Too smart.
I don't think I took. I don't think I have silence.
That wouldn't help anyway.
That would just mute us all and
Mhm.
like
That
make
is
it so
true.
we can't. Yeah.
We'd be lip reading.
If you know a unique language, I can give DQ the ability to understand all languages.
He just kind of laughs. I have many skills. Languages are not one of them. I guess I do speak Aquan, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe DQ would want you to hear his story. I don't. It's fine. Anyways,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know the story, so Jolliver, I'm okay with these guys hearing it. You know, I've been trusting my life with them recently. There's a few of them. There might be one or two I'm not too fond of, but hey, you know, it's just one big mixed bag of beads. So.
He's like, I see. And he kind of prompts BigYin to sit down at the table if he so desires.
Wait, say again?
Sit down at the table if you so desire.
Oh, sorry.
It's all
I
good.
didn't just move myself. But yeah,
As you can tell, he's probably one of the ones I don't like.
You know, I'm not going to judge your friends. That seems
Perfect.
incorrect of me. Where to start? So yeah, what's your earliest memory as of like, I don't know, 3 years ago?
Waking up in Mirabar.
And then you just hear him say, shit. Okay. So you ended up in Mirabar. That's...
Where did I start?
Ooh, now isn't that a question?
Gosh, no.
Okay. And you remember nothing from like a year before that, 2 years before that?
Nothing. It's all a blur.
And you see him kind of put both of his hands on the table and his head in them, and he says, damn it. And he slams both fists onto the table. And he's clearly frustrated. And then Urshnora kind of floats her way over to Jolliver and like puts a watery hand on his shoulder, and he's like, it's okay. And then as she removes it, you see a big water print on his clothes. He's like, God damn it, Urshnora, I thought we discussed this.
What does that mean?
There's a water imprint on his clothing from where her hand was, because she's a water person.
Gotcha. That's fine.
And she just kind of smiles. She said nothing thus far.
Okay.
And she just kind of smiles with like a playful, like you guys can see like it's like a playful smile, and he starts to chuckle a little bit. He's like, you know, I'm so glad I keep her around. All right. So probably first things first. Your real name isn't DQ Blizzardperson.
What the?
Excuse me?
Yeah. That's an alias.
Wait what do you mean alias?
Exactly what an alias means. Do you?
No, I know what an alias means, Jolliver.
He's just like,
I like your sense of humor.
He looks at you like, you were smarter than this last time. I remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot, so it's kind of hard to remember what I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jolliver?
DQ was your, let's say, rating name.
Okay.
What's his real name?
Can you tell me what my real name is?
Yeah, his real name is...
kind of attached to this one, by the way.
His real name is Prince Ragnosh.
Prince?
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 Oh,
Do you guys know I'm royalty?
God damn.
Why is he so poor?
That's what I'm thinking.
That's a great question.
But it's because we didn't share the loot with them.
And
Very funny, Ulrich.
Jolliver just kind of looks and kind of sees your guys' like banter, and he just has a weak smile on his face. He's like, let me start from the beginning, shall I?
Can you give me a quick TLDR? Actually?
This will be something.
Okay. Should I? Okay.
You might want to be taking notes out of character.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
Yeah, so I'm helping you. I'm helping you get notes out. So it's
No,
Prince.
I knew that. I can tell.
So Prince Ragnos is what he said your name was previously.
Cool.
And he kind of just looks at you. He's like, all right, deeper in these somber hills, there is a cavern, and in that cavern there is a group of lizard folk, and let's just say you are the prince of said.
Did you say lizard folk?
Lizard folk, yes.
Yeah.
You are.
No, I'm talking to Jolliver.
Yeah.
Because I'm surprised by this.
Sure, yeah. And he just kind of keeps thinking about like how much he wants to say at this point. And he's like, what do you know of the cultists?
Myself, not too much. We've been gathering a couple clues on our way, but I don't know too much, honestly.
Okay.
We don't have a whole lot of concrete detail. Something to do with the town over there.
Exactly.
Sure.
And
Let's
the
just.
possible disappearance of a party at the Mirador.
You're with
See you
those
soon, Jolliver.
people. Okay. All right. Let's take a breath here.
Would you mind starting with a bit more about our friend Prince? And I kind of look at a DQ a bit with some raised eyebrow. Prince Ragnos, you say? his
I
name is.
glare.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What you glaring at me for, laddie? I knew you had potential.
Thanks.
Anyways.
Means a lot coming from you.
So he's just kind of he's a little shocked that you remember absolutely nothing from this
Okay.
time, and so he just kind of takes a breath and he's like, okay, all right, you are from a clan called the Black Moths. Roughly 6 years ago, they aligned themselves with the water cultists. And he kind of sits there and he's like, some people know them as the cult of. One second, let me make sure my notes are correct here. Yeah, cult of the crushing wave is what some people call them.
Kind of a lame name, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, I mean, your father did help come up with the title.
Don't
And-
know him that well, so I'll
Well,
take your
Hold-
word.
Hold on, just a second. Sorry to interrupt. Again, you two seem to have a thing going, but are you telling me that this is a prince of one of the cultists?
No, oh God, no. That
like we're gonna kill him.
sounds bad. No.
Please tell me I'm not Jolliver.
So what do you
Actually,
guys
I'm
know?
inside checking all of this.
Sure, feel free. He's just like, what do you know of the cult's objectives?
Not too concrete, honestly.
He's like, do any of you guys have any idea what the cults are looking to do?
Well, one of them is torturing folk.
Yeah, they're definitely doing that. I don't know what their goal with torturing folk is, though.
Okay, well, unfortunately, he kind of sticks out his tongue, and you guys see a water sign on it. And he kind of brings it back into his mouth, and he says, I unfortunately cannot explicitly tell you what their objective is, as this will kill me if I speak on it. However, it does not preclude me from giving you guys other information.
I have a question before you
Yes.
keep going. You say you can't speak it. Can you write it down?
No.
You literally
Okay.
can't divulge anything directly about it. The mark on his tongue will likely kill him.
Got it.
This one seems uniquely intelligent for if you're both.
Can
I know a wee bit about magic. You know, I spent a fair amount of time at a magical spot in this magical place, a ruin, you might say.
I see.
And you learn a few things. Just kind of sitting in the woods looking at magic. You intuit a bit, and I reckon they put that there, so you couldn't directly say anything about their plans. However, the dark laddies we've run up against, they're of an earth cult type persuasion. And these laddies had a penchant for cutting out tongues, not so much putting marks on the tongue, if you can.
Yeah, and he kind of looks at Urshinora, and she just kind of shakes her head sadly. He's like, yeah, if I tell my story, maybe this will make a little bit more sense onto what happened. So back to who DQ. I'm just gonna call you DQ. If you want to go with your princely name, I can change it, but for now I'll just keep it with DQ. Seems like that's what everybody knows you as. Shit, DQ, how old are you again? It's been a while.
Hello.
Yeah.
I think I'm around 18. Am I 18? I forget.
You're like, yeah, I think 18 to 20.
I think 18. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I said.
I know it's around that age because I
Yeah.
don't actually know his character, right? Like it'd be hard to keep track of your age if your memory's bad,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. So you say you're 18. We'll just say that you said that. So Jolliver is like, okay, I should probably start from the beginning. DQ, you're not 18. You're actually 20 this year. Shit.
Lying about your age, huh?
I lie about a lot of things, man.
Yeah, and he's like...
You guys never asked me about what happened to me before. Did I even tell you guys my age?
No, I don't think anybody's ever asked you. Yeah.
You guys didn't care enough about me.
I guess not. And he kind of just sits there and he's like, oh, shit. Okay, I will start, I guess, from the beginning as I understand it. DQ probably would have been able to give you a better story if he remembered, but I'll kind of explain why he probably doesn't remember also. Okay. So DQ's dad, his name is Prince, or I guess not Prince anymore, he's king now, King Rakdos. He's of the Blackmaw tribe, and they had settled themselves in the mountains of the Somber Hills. I guess hills, not mountains. But they've been living there for the past, I think 3 generations now. Just kind of living in these caverns, and they were approached about 6 or 7 years ago now. Man, it's been a little while. Of a group of people that offered them lots of money to inhabit the living area that the Blackmaw tribe was living in. And this was pretty unprecedented for the Blackmaw tribe. They had interactions with humans and other folk, but typically they kind of kept to themselves. And when DQ was born, they began trading more and trying to learn more about human society and the other kind of racial societies, as they realized when DQ was born that this may not be enough for him. This cave that they're working out of and they're kind of fishing from and kind of living their peaceful lives, and they wanted more for him. So the king sought out these people about 6 years ago when DQ's about 14, I think, 13 or 14. I remember meeting him maybe 5 years ago now. All of this I'm telling you is kind of secondhand and third-hand knowledge from the king and from DQ himself, actually, funny enough.
So wait, did DQ's dad seek out the cultists?
No,
or...
they sought him out while he was looking to make trade agreements and learn about, society outside the cave. They kind of kept to themselves mostly over the past 2 generations, but upon DQ's birth, the king decided, hey, I think my son will want more. We're in a different era. We no longer have to worry about orc wizards unleashing their power on us. We no longer have to worry about humans thinking that we're evil and attacking us. Like, the world's new. It's a brand new world out there from what I've been told, and I want more for my son. And yeah, so about 6 years ago, his father was confronted by a few different people, and they offered him lots and lots of money in order for them to inhabit this massive cavern that they weren't utilizing to its greatest use. So he accepted as this influx of money and kind of, I guess, knowledge, if you want to think about it that way, would help them expand.
This money, by the way, was given by the cultists, the water?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. There was another party I
so,
didn't hear.
Yeah, so he didn't say they were water cultists yet. He just said a group of people.
Okay.
Just to be specific. And he's like, but over time, the king got a little too wrapped up in this group of people's desires, we'll call them. And I'll be frank, about 3 years ago, the king went dark. Very, very dark. He started requesting that his son go on raids with me. I was just a boat captain back then. I, did some piracy here and there, but it was, all of it was sanctioned by the Artar government. I was here to kind of make sure that the passing ships were paying their taxes for their items, and if they weren't, we would seize it from them on behalf.
Which government?
Yartar. It's a city to the north of here. If you want to roll some history checks and give you some more information on Yartar, but otherwise I can just keep going with my story. Up to you guys. If nobody else is gonna roll, I can.
I don't care about it enough.
Yeah,
it's
so,
how my character's acting. So
yeah, so
Yartar.
Yeah, so Yartar is kind of like a naval hub in the in this kind of part of the world. Ulrich really doesn't even know if Yartar exists at this point. But he's heard stories here and there. He's like, it could exist. I've never been. But Yartar is a pretty major port city, and so a lot of trade goods kind of go back and forth. And there's some shadiness in their government and like nobility, in terms of like what's actually going on with them. But for the most part, they're not like evil. It's just kind of like chaotic neutral evil. That's where they kind of fall into government wise. But you could argue every government falls into that. But anyways, so he was kind of recruited by Yartar to be kind of like this person who kind of went up and down the rivers just to kind of confirm that trade was going smoothly, and if people were stealing goods or not paying their taxes like they should be, he would seize the goods.
So you're a sanctioned privateer.
Correct.
I mean, so you would
I don't know if your character would know. Yeah, I don't know if your character.
No,
would know
so out of character, he was more of a privateer than a pirate. He was
Correct.
operating with the letter of marque from a government.
Correct, but him and his crew acted like pirates because that's what they were previously. But he doesn't tell you that. He just tells you that this government was like he was working on behalf of the Yartar government. And he's like, the king requested that I start working for the cultists, who now had an established regime in this cave. And I had met with the king previously. We had been in contact as he tried to learn about the outside world, and I had met him before this group of people started inhabiting their kingdom. And let's just say DQ was not his father's biggest fan. They got along great when he was younger, and as the king kind of learned more about the cultures and ways of other people, he started to try to bring that home and try to reform the lizard folk a little bit.
I want to make it clear, guys, I don't have daddy issues.
Maybe.
Sure.
And DQ was all for it, right? Like he sees this change in his people, and he sees this change in his father, and he's excited. And then this group of people kind of walk in, pay his father a large sum of money every year to kind of maintain this working relationship in the same place, this co-living relationship. But as the years go by, DQ sees a change in his father's behavior that he really doesn't like. His father before, in his mind, was a very respectful, very honorable person, just looking for a better life for his people and for his son. And now he's not quite sure what his father wants or desires, and he seems obsessed with this money that he's getting from these groups of people that have completely changed the landscape of where he's living. And
gentrification.
Kind of. And Jolliver's like, and it was really interesting because you were a berserker. You took all this rage from within you, and you used that to fight.
Rage, you say?
And he's kind of looking at you like up and down. He's like, you don't seem like a raging barbarian anymore. Wow, that... We're getting there, but that must have done a number on your head. Because he's kind of looking you up and down. You're pretty lean, and you've got like kind of like a rogue body type, right? Like you're working on being.
That's what I'm wondering. But this sounds way too. I'm saying in character. This sounds too surreal for me right now.
He's like, do you not have any rage to tap into anymore?
I think I have a faint memory of something that happened recently when we were fighting I believe the cultist. Do you guys remember? and when we were fighting all those cultists, were actually where we met Ulrich, I believe, around there.
In
Around
Daggerford.
where we met Ulrich. In Daggerford, yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I had this weird event that happened. You remember that one I didn't want to tell you about, BigYin, but it sounds like it's very important. I thought it was nothing at the time. So
I recall.
where it seemed like this so-called rage that he speaks of. I sort of tapped into it, but that's all I really know. This emotion that I've never felt before came upon me at that time, and I just chose to kind of hide it because I didn't trust you guys, and I still don't. But I feel like this is vital information. So
He's like, interesting. I used to call it teenage angst. You said it was fury, but I mean, who am I to argue with a barbarian, right? Doesn't seem useful.
I like teenage angst. I mean,
yeah, and he's like, so yeah, he worked with us for about a year, and yeah, it was great. We fought together many times, but then about 2.5 years ago,
was I a good fighter?
my
ego.
Yeah, and he sits there and he tries to think of what the words to say, and you see like a slight like shit-eating grin on his face kind of appear.
A little
He's
bit
like,
of hesitation. I'm seeing Jolliver.
and he's like, "You didn't die."
Do you guys think I'm a good fighter? I pointed at
Ah,
him.
you are, laddie.
Oh, thank goodness. I got it from the one guy I don't care about.
I think you're better when you're asleep.
Cromwell, you always make me laugh. I hate you. Why am I
Yeah,
here
no
again? Why am I here?
Ulrich shrugs. He's like, "Oh, you haven't died yet." He makes a great point.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet,
He's like,
sweet.
I mean, is that not a compliment? I thought that's a pretty good
It's,
compliment.
you know, I'll take it, Jolliver.
We have survived all the fights.
That is true.
That's all that
We've had-
really matters. At the end
No,
of
we
the
haven't
day,
all
right?
survived all the fights.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. R.I.P.
Yeah, and he's like, and you know, about 2.5 years ago, you came to me, and you wanted to smuggle yourself out of the Blackmont tribe. You were tired of it. You were tired of seeing the evil that your father was committing, and you just wanted out.
Guys, I think I
So-
do have daddy issues.
He's like, and
I start to realize and put my hand.
he kind of looks over the note. He's like, "You guys were up at the Feathergrail Spire?"
Aye, we were.
And he looks at DQ. He's like, "Did you meet Savra?"
Yeah.
Your sister.
Nope, that she's clearly a human. That would not work at all.
No,
That would be
that'd
very
be-
interesting.
That'd be a
really
game
funny
changer.
though.
That would be a game changer.
I won't lie.
That would have been a game changer. Like,
Goes deeper than daddy issues.
yeah, exactly right.
Your sister issues too?
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
And he's like, "You don't remember Savra?" And then you just see his face kind of drop. And he's like,
No, I don't. Please.
"Okay, all right." So it's myself, Urshnora, Savra, and 2 other people that you haven't met yet, and I'm not allowed to speak of. The 6 of us, including yourself, obviously here, worked to smuggle you out of the cavern, and we were on the run. The goal was to take you to Waterdeep, as Savra has many connections there with her family, and we were going to start you with a new life with this DQ Blizzardperson personification. But as we were leaving, I don't know, I guess we were betrayed. Our ship came under attack, and I got you on a smaller boat, and the 6 of us kind of kept going while my crew fended off the attacks, and we got you not to the destination we were hoping for. You said you made it to Mirabar?
Yeah.
That's
What do you mean, not the
buddy,
destination? What
You
am I,
didn't make it to
shipping a bottle?
Mirabar. If I may, we're looking for a party out of Mirabar.
That
We'll ask you about that later.
Sure.
But we found DQ in the cave. with a bunch of
So
goblins.
that was after DQ started his life as an adventurer. He would have told you
Yeah, I
this,
have a
that.
year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
2.5
so-
years ago. So then,
Okay, sorry about
yeah,
that.
you're good.
BigYin. Slow your roll. I'll tell him about what I've been up to.
Sure.
All right.
But I appreciate it actually for once.
Yeah, and he's like, as we were rowing, Urshnora kept moving the boat faster with her water magic, but we couldn't get away. And this big blast of fire and water and wind hit the boat, and we were all kind of thrown from the boat, and all of us except you were captured. You kept running, and we lost all sight of you.
You say running?
You were running. You were thrown from the boat.
I was running. Oh.
And the water cultists caught me. The air cultists caught Savra. And the fire and earth cultists caught our 2 other friends. And you were just running. And the group kind of came together, and I had never seen the different elemental cults kind of work as a group, but it seemed that your father had we'll just say he sold his soul to the devil for this operation.
Awesome. That's a lot to take in. I need to start pacing around anxiously.
Yeah, and they brainwashed everybody except for me. So in game terms, they cast a spell on all 5 of these people, and Jolliver is the only one that's saved.
Wait, hang on a second.
Mhm.
Does that mean the people we were working with in the tower are wind cultists?
And he's like, oh, yeah.
So wait a minute. You mean to tell me that we just killed a manticore, and the group of other a manticore and helped kill 2 manticore and the giant with a bunch of wind cultists who said they were working out of Neverwinter?
No, Waterdeep.
Out of Waterdeep? You mean
He's
to tell me that?
He's
See,
like-
I told you they were trustworthy.
And he sits there and he's like,
Ulrich, I trust your senses a lot more now.
Yeah, I'll look over to Ulrich. I say we go back and burn the place to the ground.
and he's like, look, Savra is a good person. She
Yeah, I can
doesn't
tell.
know that they're cultists. She has absolutely no idea. She genuinely thinks she's there to help train soldiers for Waterdeep. And she has no, we'll say, recollection. Let's just say the air cultist that brainwashed her is very powerful. I've never seen magic like that done before. Fortunately for me, I guess I got the grunt of the lot. Urshnora, we broke her memory issues about a year ago through a lot and a lot of money traveling to different places under the guise of working for these water cultists.
Gotcha.
But-
Do you guys still have that money to, do the same thing for me, maybe? Because I am I was the prince, and
He's like, no.
I'm just like a little sad. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, they're not here. Like, we had to travel very far, and because of that travel, I got this, and he sticks out his tongue. He's like, they didn't know I had not been brainwashed. But the lives of my comrades were thrust upon me, and they said, if you don't follow orders, we will kill all of them. So what am I going to do? And he just has like a really like sad smile on his face. So I followed orders. I've been working for this cult for the past 2.5 years. And he looks at you, he's like, how do you not remember any of this?
I'm wondering the same thing. What did I get my head knocked out on the ship? I don't understand.
Yeah, so as you're kind of like, you're thinking really hard, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Gosh, I'm just thinking so hard right now. I can't. I wonder what happened. I'm just trying to.
Wait, hang on a minute. Can I help him?
You don't
with
know
the
that he's
wisdom
doing this.
saving throw?
You have no idea that he's doing this.
I'm just thinking really
he's,
hard right
he's
now.
kind of just pacing back and forth. Yeah.
Really.
So with
difficult.
that, you have like after he's like kind of told this story.
Oh shit.
You kind of have like a breakthrough in your mind, and while you don't remember everything that happened, you do remember you're running, and you're running so hard. You've never ran like this before. Like you're used to running on boats and like jumping from one boat to the other, attacking, people that are stealing, and like doing good work is what you think. And
yes.
you get shot with an arrow. And
Sweet.
it hits you in the butt and kind of slides up to your belly button,
Okay.
which is where that scar's from.
It all makes sense now.
And you're kind of confused because an arrow typically doesn't curve like that. And you notice two people chasing after you. One used a wind magic spell on the arrow, and it curved. It was like completely missing you, and it curved back in and hit you and kind of just sliced you up. And as the arrow kind of hits you and slices up, your entire lower half of your body just collapses under you, but you're still conscious. And you're like breathing hard, and you're like trying to crawl your way out with like bear crawl without losing your legs. And they finally catch you, and just one foot right down hard in your back. And they both kind of chuckle. And they say, "Ha ha. Oh, Prince, you thought you could run from us? You thought you could leave your father?"
Get out of my head!
This is yeah. Are you saying this out loud as you're,
Yeah. I'm
remembering
saying this out loud to the group. Yeah, this is yeah.
And
To the group.
you're still pacing back and forth with your eyes kind of shut at this point. And
I'm gonna stand up real quickly and draw my weapon at Jolliver.
he's like,
I'll just kind of put my hand on his shoulder and I'll just be like, "Let it happen. Let it happen, Letty. Let it happen."
he's like, this is the best I can do. Shannara and I have been working on any way that we could break Savra's spell, and we're doing all we can right now. As he kind of steps back, you see like kind of runes are carved into his hand. And Llus, if you can make a perception check for me.
Why me perception? I don't perceive things.
Well, you're the magic boy, right? So yeah, so you kind of notice these runes, and they're pretty intricate actually, on both his right and his left hand. And you noticed previously, like, he was wearing gloves before, and he's taking those gloves off now. And he's doing kind of like a low chant, and his like hands are starting to glow a little bit. And he's like, "This is the most I can do. It seems like I can only go about 2.5 years in the past to just have them help remember what happened to them. I haven't been able to break further in the spell." And you see Urshnora is also kind of chanting, but it's silent. Like you guys don't hear anything coming out of her mouth, as her mouth is just kind of opening, and you guys can kind of like lip see kind of like her chant. He's like, "If you want to kill me, I will probably not like that. I'm just trying to help DQ."
I'm looking at DQ.
Yeah.
But
So-
like ready if anything goes wrong with him to
Sure.
strike.
Yeah.
So
So,
I will ready in action to attack the nearest thing to me should DQ fall unconscious.
okay, so that would be Urshnora here.
Here.
And so they're both just kind of chanting. And DQ, your mind is still kind of diving into this like darkness, this like the clouds of fog are kind of like lifting a little bit. And they bring you back to the other group. But Jolliver isn't there at this time. He'd been, as you were kind of getting dragged over, you still have no feeling in your legs at this point. Jolliver is being dragged away. He's beaten up. He's super bloody, super bruised. Looks like he's barely conscious right now, and he's being dragged away to a boat. as you're kind of being drug over, and interestingly enough, you think you remember the voice of this earth cultist, and they got a mask on, so you can't really see what their face is. But there's a similar cackle that you remember from Daggerford, and you can't quite put where you remember it from at this point.
Okay.
But he's like, Prince, you thought you could escape from us? Ah, foolish prince. Don't you know your father's prepared you for us? And you'd never heard anything about these other cultists. Like, you'd never seen them before. So you're very confused as to like what this person's talking about. And you just see a hand clasped directly onto your forehead. And he starts to chant. And you feel your memory being washed away from your childhood up until this day. And a new thought being placed into your head. And the thought is, I will help my father, and I will work all that he desires me to do. That's the new kind of imprint into your mind that's happening. And you're struggling. You're struggling really hard to kind of get away. But this single thought, this single directive, work with your father, do as he says, is being pounded and pounded and pounded into your head. And while this is all happening, you hear shouting, and you can't move because you're being held down by two people holding your arms and body down, one person kind of having their hand on your head, and you hear shouts as to you looks like a group of pirates attack kind of everything around you. There's chaos everywhere. People are running, people are screaming, there's magic being fired left, right, and center, there are arrows flying, and you get thrown backwards as an explosion kind of happens right behind the person chanting onto you. And it seems like to you, now that you're kind of like more aware of what's happened, that imprint that you will do what your father tells you to do, kind of like directive, never got fully implemented. And you're not sure why, because you don't do magic yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the memory wiping portion did seem to work, where you had no recollection of much. You remember fighting and you remember in anger, but that's all now, right after that black mist kind of went into your body. And then you remember waking up in Mirabar. I'm not sure how, not sure why, because you were knocked out by the explosion that happened next to you, but that's what you remember.
Is it possible within that memory to do a perception check of the pirates, or no? Or am I just so like out of it that there's no way I'd be able to tell?
I would say that you didn't see them because the hand was over your face as they were chanting,
that's fine.
And then you just heard all of this noise, and you heard like R and like like cannons being fired off of the ship. So you had been dealing with this prior to your memories being fully wiped.
Yeah,
you've been used to like naval combat,
stuff of So that's
but you're just not sure like who what this pirate group was, or like how they even found you, or like what's happening.
That's fine. Yeah.
So that's what you come back to. Now you're back with the rest of us in regular time.
I start taking deep breaths. I need to sit down. I just go to this corner, my safety corner. I just go in kind of the fetal position. I'm just like so torn right now.
Yeah, Jolliver's like, and Jolliver stops chanting, and he kind of puts his gloves on, and he's just like, you see, like, you guys can all kind of see like he's sweating profusely at this point, and he's like, man, I can't do magic aside from this, guys. That was really tough. He kind of looks at Urshinora, and Urshinora, she's not sweating because she's like a water elemental being, but she looks drained. Like, you see, like, she was like, previously she was like, very like high and tight, like the water kind of around her swirling around here was like, she was like 5'6", 5'7", but now she seems to be slumping a little bit, and now she looks closer to like 5'3", as you see like the pools of water around her legs are like much bigger. As it seems like she's just like she's taking some deep breaths, and she looks exhausted as well. And he's like, DQ, did you remember? Or would you like me to call you Prince now? What do you
DQ's
remember?
fine. Thank you.
Got it.
Hey, I got a question.
For who?
Why do all you magic using bastards never warn anyone when you're gonna do something that's useful? You
He
just do it.
He just kind of laughs. He's like,
I agree.
He kind of laughs, and he's like, I didn't want there to be any resistance because I wanted to catch this magic kind of unawares. With Ishnora, when I tried this out last time, when she was aware of what was happening, the spell kind of took a deeper hold, and I couldn't break free. But when I caught her unawares, that was when it seemed like it worked best.
Right. Okay, I get but still, you're not the only one. It's just maddening.
I get it, and I apologize for all of us, I guess, but I was only trying to help DQ remember.
Could you do me a favor? And I'm looking at everyone here who's got a spell up their sleeve. Could you just let me know when you're gonna tap me on the shoulder first or something?
Yeah,
and then when things go wrong, I'm not gonna smash you with my hammer.
Yeah, and you see him. He takes his clothes back off. He's like, "This is the only reason why I can cast that spell. This is what costs me all the money."
And Ulrich is also looking directly at BigYin.
Yeah,
Ulrich is weirdly right
So
on this
wait,
one.
You want me to warn you when I change into a spider? I reckon I
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah, please.
What,
I gotta
how
admit,
is that?
I get a wee bit of joy out of seeing you jump. It's a bit fun.
Sure. All right. Fair enough. And I'll get a good bit of joy out of smashing your legs off next time it happens right next to me.
I mean, you're welcome to try it, laddie.
Fair enough.
Guys, I just had a breakthrough. Stop fighting.
I'm
No,
giving you
thank you.
time, kid, to get your brain together.
Thank you.
I'm quite happy to let you have your breakthrough, laddie. It's fine. You've clearly been through a lot.
Yeah, and Jolliver takes a seat after you're kind of done with your kind of I'll let you call that what it was. But he kind of sits down. He slumps. He's like, that takes a lot out of me. And he kind of takes a swig from the mug that was on the table. And he's like, so DQ, are you okay now? What do you remember?
I start to recuperate.
Okay.
I remember the boats. I tell him. I remember a hand on my face. Pretty disrespectful to a prince if I was one. Not gonna lie, didn't like the cackling that went on. Did you hear any cackling back then? Do you remember that well?
He's like, well,
I'm just putting any random thoughts together that I can collect.
He's like, I didn't even know you got caught, honestly, until you didn't remember me. And I kind of put two and two together. They as the ringleader, he kind of laughs, because I don't run a circus, so ringleader is a funny term. They beat me black and blue for helping you escape.
Why did we do this plan? Why did you guys help me? I don't get it.
You were one of us, and we saw the pain you were in. And you see Urshnora over here slumped a little bit, but she's just kind of nodding. As just nice, Urshnora and I, Savra, the other two, we didn't want to see you in pain anymore. Every time you went on a trip with us after being home, you were just so angry all the time. And you decided, as a grown lizard man, that this is what you wanted to do. You wanted to run. You wanted to get away from your father and that lifestyle. And your original goal, actually, was to make it to Waterdeep, join the Waterdeep army, become an officer, and then he kind of chuckles as he says this, become a naval captain, he laughs, and come back and rescue your father from those cultists.
God, why would I do that?
And he kind of looks at you, he's like, because you knew your father was good before.
I don't know, man. I'm starting to think that my ability to judge people is a little bad.
And he-
I have a completely different take nowadays.
Sure, and he kind of just smiles. He's like, that hasn't changed at all. You were always shit at reading people.
Perfect.
He's like,
Wait.
he kind of looks at you. He's like,
Something
where's your...
without change.
Yeah, he's like, where's your battle axe? You used to just run into combat with just a two-handed battle axe. Do you not fight like that anymore? What happened?
No, I use more of a rapier short bow tactic, and I'm a little bit more sly with how I approach things. Well, I try to be sly.
I see.
Tell you, with these guys, it's not too easy.
I see.
Yeah, that one's on me.
Yeah.
And he's like,
The only one who I think knows how to be sly is Elwarin. Pretty sure he's the only one.
yeah. He's like, okay. I think that's about as much info I can give you right now about DQ. The cultists outside will probably start to get antsy if I keep them out for too much longer. So I'm going to invite them back in. And let's just say I assign you guys to some bunks. You guys can kind of take a rest, and we can let's regroup in the morning, crack of dawn. If you guys, I'm guessing your goal is to destroy the cultists. What's your goal? Maybe I should ask that. What's your guys' goal?
You're not
DQ,
wrong.
do you mind if I explain?
Yeah,
You mind?
I do mind.
Oh, then I'll let you do it, laddie.
Ulrich, you explain. Sorry to appoint you this. It's just I don't want him to do it.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're killing cultists. He was right.
Exactly.
You got it. I don't
Thank
know.
you. No, you summarized it perfectly.
Yeah.
It's a bit more complicated than that.
Is it though? Now
It's
here's
not.
a question. Here's the thing. I heard you say something about a ringleader.
That's what they
Huge.
called me. I was making a joke.
Well, here's the thing,
Uh-huh.
right? And this is weird. It's gonna be real weird. Remember when I said that like the cultists, they were torturing people?
Yeah.
Well, where we found the cultists torturing people was at a circus. And so you're
Interesting.
saying you got cultists outside, and you're part of some sort of cult thing,
Not
and
by
everyone's
choice.
in cultists, and you're the ringleader, and there's the circus. And
Not
so
a
it's
good
really,
look, Oliver.
No, I think you misunderstood. They called me the ringleader of
I get
the
no,
party
I mean,
getting DQ
right.
out.
yes, I understand
Got
that.
it. Got it.
It's just a bad look, as DQ himself had just said.
Sure. I didn't know about this circus thing. Where was that?
Weird coincidence, I guess.
He's like, where was that?
Daggerford.
He's like, ah, shit. Yeah. I know who you're talking about now. They're not real circus folk. You guys figure that out, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
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 They're from the cult of the Black Earth. It's a Earth cult. That's their name.
Figured that one out.
They've been using my ships and my crews to transport people back to their camp, if you want to call it. I didn't know about the torture. I thought they were just kidnapping folks to work as slaves.
You know how you have a sign on your tongue?
Yep.
Yeah, some of the guys at that they were torturing don't have tongues anymore. So
That
I'll
has
say you-
that has very little to do with the sign on my tongue, as it's a specific curse. Where I can't.
Well,
yeah, I'm just saying they don't
What
have
we're
tongues
saying-
anymore. You got it off
Yeah.
easy.
you're useful, so they want you to be able to talk.
Yeah.
These guys, not useful, can't talk.
I mean, you don't have to be talkative as a slave.
Where are these ships? Where are these ships headed? Where you said their
Yeah, and
headquarters, their base?
he's like, yeah, this is the base that I know of that I've been to on retreats, and I'm gonna just go ahead and bring you guys over to this map to make life easy. he just kind of asks, do you guys have a map?
And I pull it out since I'm the one with the map.
And let me do this real quick.
Oh, this is not the map I thought it was going to be. Oh, that is close.
Yeah.
And he kind of points out this location here. He's like, they're actually not that far. And
It said
they-
here, but I didn't get a ping.
Here?
Oh, okay, there it is.
With the one that says New Sacred Stone Monastery. And he kind of
Yeah.
points out, like, this is called the Sacred Stone Monastery. Where the River Guard keep, as I'm sure you are aware from Savra. But the way that we kind of travel with them is we travel by river. And so you go from here, and you just take the river up, dock over here, unload, and meet up with the Sacred Stone Monastery. That's probably the most direct route.
Well, ain't that interesting?
I don't like what I'm doing. I don't like that I have to do this in order to keep everybody
Yeah,
else alive.
I don't like that you're doing it.
Can you tell us who's got that weird curse on you?
Who put it on me?
Yeah.
No. But if you keep fighting the cults, you'll meet him soon enough. I'll just say that.
If you used to fight with me, why don't you join? Why don't you join us? Why don't you
So
leave this shitty job? I ask.
he kind of looks at you with a really bittersweet smile, and he's like, well, they told me they'd kill everyone if I didn't help them. He's like, I don't
Were
care
they-
about my life, but they said they've been keeping tabs on you. They said they've been keeping tabs on Savra, obviously. Urshnora here works with me. And the other two, I haven't seen them in 2.5 years, but they were taken away by the other two cults.
Can you say their names or no?
No.
The other two.
I
That's
cannot.
another thing.
Yeah.
Randomly pick two people, huh?
Let's just say they were not just two people.
Yeah, I figured based off that context.
Urshnora, myself, and Savra were... he kind of laughs. Low tier, comparatively.
Yeah, these cultists got some definitely high tier super insights of what they want and what they don't want. I'll tell you that much.
And he kind of looks, he's like, there is a reason why we were the elite unit. We were the ones working for the Yartar group. And if you guys scroll up on your maps a little bit, Yartar is up here. I don't know why that's on a weird layer. Sorry, let me fix that. Yartar's up here. So by river, it's not too far. Obviously, it would take a little while, but that's what he was saying he was based out of previously. And he's just like, if I had a choice, I would have gone back to Yartar a couple years ago. But their hold on Savra and you seem pretty strong. And it's funny, they kept telling me they knew where you were. And I heard you were in the Red Larch recently, and I really wanted to come see you. But, yeah, duty calls, as they say.
Been there. My duty's called me plenty of times.
I'm bringing you guys back to the map just to make my life easier. And he was like, look, I understand if you'd want to move out right away and go attack the Black Earth cult with the information I've been able to give you. I'd recommend waiting a couple days, maybe even a week. There's a large gathering of them at that location for the next week. So if you guys want, feel free to go charge in there with the 7 of you. But let's just say it's a holy week for them coming up. So I'd recommend approaching afterwards, and I know that's really tough to hear. And he kind of looks at DQ. I just don't want to see him dead. Because they will kill you now.
Cool.
Your father has lifted the request for you to come back home safely, as you haven't been back in 2.5 years.
So, I wanted to save this guy. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'll tell you that much.
Say which guy?
My father.
Sure.
From the tyrant corruption that he has now.
Sure. So do you say that out loud?
Yeah, I say that out loud.
Yeah, and he kind of looks at you with a really sad look. He's like, "It's not. That's not your father anymore.
Yeah.
Something has corrupted his brain, his mind. He doesn't."
Does he have a tumor?
He kind of looks at you. He's like, always with the really bad timing humor.
Oh God.
No, not a tumor, but something has taken over his mind. He's no longer the king that I first met, nor the one that you know from even 2.5 years ago. He's evil. Just pure chaotic evil. I don't even know who he is anymore. I can hardly recognize him. He doesn't even look the same.
Show the man he used to be, I'm assuming, based off
I mean,
everything you're telling me.
if you could take the thing out of his mind, I think he could go back to normal.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Sure. I mean, you are, I guess, technically the heir to the throne, but I don't know how welcoming they'll be.
I'm not really worried about the throne, honestly.
Sure.
Maybe I'm willing to save his life. I don't know, man. It's a lot to take in. I'll think about it all tonight.
Sure.
But thanks for filling me in.
Yeah, of course.
I know you need to let your the cultists outside are gonna get pretty antsy soon. So.
Yeah, and he kind of says, "Huh, yeah," and he kind of claps his hands really loudly, and the two people that had left previously, can I select both of them? I can't look at that. They kind of walk back in, and they say, Jolliver, are we good to keep them here? We fighting them? We killing them? What's the game plan? And
I'm sorry.
They both just kind of they both just kind of look. They both just kind of look a little smug, like they've done this before, perhaps. And he's like, "No, they're working with us. Take them to the barracks. They can sleep tonight, and then we have a mission for them tomorrow in the morning."
Hail Hydra.
Don't know what that means, but perhaps.
Just in case.
Sure. And they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah. Let's call over the other fools back in, the scrubs as they are." And you see some dudes kind of walk in. It's the same 4 dudes that kind of brought you guys into this portion of the keep. And he's like, "Yeah, take them to the barracks. They'll be sleeping there tonight. We'll create some extra beds for them. Bless you, dude." And he kind of laughs. He's like, this job sure is tiring. And the two over here kind of chuckle, and they say, "But you're so good at it, boss. That's why they keep you around, you know?" He's like, yeah, I know. He says, "I'll see you guys in the morning." And as he's saying this, the sun's kind of going down in the sky. So he's like, I mean, you don't have to sleep yet, I guess, but sun's going down, and we have a early morning to discuss stuff about before you guys kind of head off on the next quest for the leader. And as he says that, the cultists over here, these two do a sign. They kind of cross both of their arms in front of them, in an X, and Jolliver does the same. So does Urshna, and the other 4 in the back also do that, and they bow. These 6 bow to Jolliver, and they say, "Well, right this way. We'll take you guys to your barracks." Do you guys follow them?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
1 second, sorry. One guy went into a wall. Yeah, you guys can just head outside now.
I'd like to stay behind for a moment. I have a few I'll catch up with you guys later. I have a few questions for the man.
Okay.
I noticed that, and I actually stay.
Okay.
Is it okay if I stay with you?
I
BigYin,
mean,
don't really want your permission, but I feel I'll be respectful right now. I'm in a bit of a weird
it's not
mood
like you
right
ever trusted me before. I'm not want to talk about you behind your back, laddie.
That's not it. I just wanna hear what you have to say.
That's fine.
Well, they're gonna die.
And I'll walk up. I'll just kind of get up from the table and I'll walk up and stand in front of him.
Eustace, where are you going, dude?
Where am I going?
You're going out this door.
And,
Going out this door.
How do I that door? Okay. Trying to move myself in the map.
It's just like, where's how do
Looking out the window.
Eustace is
I
like,
got
this
lost.
is a nice view you got here, good boys.
Sorry, where's the bathroom? Is it the right? Sorry. Oh, okay. Well, I'll just...
Alright, so Jolliver kind of looks.
That was a fine tale you told there, laddie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, your insight. Yeah, he seemed like he was telling the truth the entire time.
Okay. Fine tale. And it seems to have done a number on my friend's head. Not
And
that
mine.
he thinks me a friend. But it seems it's done him a world of good. And I thank you for that. Now,
I don't know if I've done any good
What?
recently. And he kind of just looks down.
the man knows himself now. He didn't know it before. A man who doesn't, someone who doesn't know themselves is only half a person.
Sure.
He's on his way to recovery, and that's good, as far as I'm concerned. Being a
I start to
druid,
walk
we're
out
all
here,
about healing.
Are they still here? Like, are they walking? I'm like behind
Now,
them.
Yeah, they're kind of waiting for you. Nope, that's you're down here. That's you have to go
Okay,
up the
I just
stairs.
want to make sure as long as they're waiting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
we missed a few details that our friend Ulrich didn't really tell you. You see,
Okay.
we picked up DQ in the cave. He was captured by a bunch of goblins, and this was our first interaction with the cults.
Okay.
There's a Durigar slaving, capturing people on the road,
I see.
and he killed a friend of ours who had hired the first group of us. to do a job.
Time out. 1 second. I don't think he killed anybody.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
You just never
Oh, yeah.
found Arden.
Oh, that's right. I think he's dead. That's right.
Sure, that's
Sorry,
fine.
you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a while since.
Yeah,
we've
I just
gone
wanted to
so
verify just
I'll
for
say-
your brain that you don't know if he
Yeah.
actually died. You just never found him.
He captured one of he captured one of the two people that hired us.
Mhm.
We're
We
trying
assume
to
he
track
did that,
him
bro.
down. Additionally, my elven friend and I have been tasked with tracking down a princess from the Moon Elves, who is with a party out of Mirabor, headed towards an enchanted forest. She had seeds, magical seeds, and we are to find her. Do you have any information about that?
Kind of
And would
scratches.
these wee nasty culty bastards be involved in
You
their
can't
disappearance?
He scratches his head. He's like, I wouldn't put it past the Earth cult to have captured them and fought them. I don't have any information regarding their whereabouts. However, I think you'll be best suited to go to the Stone Monastery, and I think you might find some answers there. And he kind of thinks, he's like, you're at a Red Larch, right?
Aye.
He's like, you haven't talked to... Oh, yeah, her name is Mother Yolantha. Yolantha.
So I wouldn't have known her name before. Did he just
No.
say that I talked
Yeah,
to
you,
her?
you haven't met her yet.
Did he say if I've talked to her?
He just kind of looks at you, he's like, have you talked to her yet? Mother Yolantha?
Hang on, let me make a note.
He's like, back when I was a... He kind of laughs as he says this. Back when I used to work for Yaratar, I would go to the Red Larch once in a while, just to kind of check on the areas. And Yolantha always did like working with the with nature.
Yelanthe?
Yolantha is spelled Yalantha.
And I'll say, no. The person who gave us the job didn't even mention this woman's name. We were just told we'd find her in Red Larch. We
She
wouldn't
ru-
have given a whole lot of information.
she runs
Admittedly,
a.
when we got the job, we had not exactly. We'd kind of worn out our welcome through through the poor behavior of a departed friend.
Got it. And he kind of looks and he thinks about it. He's like, she runs a boarding house in the Red Larch. I think you can find her. Shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, just if you find her in town, she was, from what I remember, one that worked in the forest a lot. And he kind of winks at you as he says that.
Aye, that'll do. Last thing. Before I didn't want to cause any more suspicion for you, and you've been right helpful. Might we talk about trade tomorrow? We may be in need of supplies, if you know what I mean. You being a former smuggler and working with these culty types.
Sorry, wrong person. I apologize. It's Halia Hanandrum. Sorry. Retract.
A-L.
Haeleeya. And she operates a bathhouse. I apologize.
What's her last name?
Hanandrum, Hanadroum.
Okay. Might we discuss trade? We have coin, and we may need supplies and gear. If you have anything that you can sell us without these culty types taking offense, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, he sits there and he kind of scratches his head. He's like, well, I have some supplies, and he winks as he says to you, to give you guys tomorrow that I have been scavenging, scrounging, saving up for the past 2.5 years for this opportunity that I think might be of worth for you guys. But we do have to do it at the very early start of the morning, as I don't want anybody else seeing me give this to you, as only Urshnora and myself know that these exist. But I think they will be of use to you. In terms of trade goods, I would... And he sits there and he thinks, he's like, I would recommend you head back to the Red Larch. Like I said, I would not go near the monastery this week. I would definitely try next week. Or gather up some information in the Red Larch. There might be... And he thinks, well, he's like, there are some spies there. Maybe it would be good to find them. Nope. And he kind of brings his tongue out. He's like, I can't tell you who they are. I wish I could. And he kind of laughs. He's like, that would make my life a hell of a lot easier.
Understood. I recognize the mark on your tongue, lad. It's a fair, powerful, awful thing. And I'll nay take up any more of your time. And me being the tall person that I am, I just reach out and put my hand on his head. And I say, the blessing of the forest be upon you. And I'll walk out the door.
He kind of looks at you and he kind of squints his eyes as you like say that. And he's like, then he looks, as you're heading out the door, he looks at Rashana. What a weird dude. Cool. Alright, so you guys are outside. Bring my token over here. And they just lead you down this way. So you guys can just follow my token dude if you want. And they lead you guys through this door. I'm not going to bring them in, but so you guys can bring yourselves into this room.
Trap.
And it's full of cultists.
Oh, fucking hell.
And one of the dudes kind of walks through the door, says, alright boys, these are guests of Jolliver. Give them a bed, bunk up, as we usually do, and, keep them comfy. Don't. And she kind of looks around and she's like, don't get them involved in your stupid trifling games.
What games?
As you guys kind of walk in,
I get eager.
Yeah, as you guys kind of walk in, you see 9 double bunks, like say just 9 bunk beds, pretty much surrounding the room, and each with a pair of footlockers underneath, and the door here, and here. You see 3 doors. You also see like a Yeah, that's really all that's in this room. And she just kind of, as you say, games. What games? This person rolls their eyes and walks out the door. And this dude over here says, "I heard someone wants to play some games. Games."
I'm gonna go pick a bunk and read my book.
Okay. So he moves closer to DQ, and he's like, "So you'd like to play some games, huh?" I'll move this dude over here just to play easy.
Yes, games.
We play card and dice games, games of chance, as it were.
I believe I
With
do.
money.
Like, out of character to you, DM. I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with card and dice games. Correct?
Yes, yeah, you guys would be generally aware, especially you, the rogue.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I think I picked that as my items as well, things
Yeah.
like that.
So. And they're like, "We play for money here. So, do we have any takers? Anybody want to play some card games, some dice games? We do bet money, so you do have a chance of winning money."
I'm in.
Elwarin, I believe BigYin's trying to get your attention. You can just say that out loud, my dude.
Oh. I didn't want to interrupt your flow, so I
Sure.
figured we could use the chat to actually, like, mime
Chat?
hand gestures or
Sure,
something,
yeah.
and like.
That's fine. I just don't know how many people are reading the chats. Just wanted to help you out. Cool.
I'll play some games.
Okay, so we got 2 takers. Anybody else want to play some? Sorry, it's always
I'm
one.
gonna grab the book from Llus.
I think you
Okay.
still have it in your possession. I don't think you ever gave it back to him.
Oh yeah. It's true.
Let's just have a standing rule that after I'm done with it, I always give it back.
Okay.
She's like, "I didn't lose it, guys. It wasn't my fault."
Yeah, sorry. I would have done that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I wasn't sure that was the game plan that you guys are running with. So, Llus, are you gonna wander over to Ulrich's side of the world? I mean, you don't have to. I was just curious what your game plan was.
I'm gonna stare creepily at this cultist.
Nice. He kind of looks at you and smiles, and he says, "Welcome. Are you sleeping with me tonight? Is that what's happening?" I don't mind cuddle
that
buddy.
way.
He's like, "I don't mind cuddle buddy." He's like, "You're the one giving me the look. I don't know.
He
I don't know."
He
He's like,
doesn't swing at all.
He's like, "You're the one who's giving me the look. I'm not giving you the look."
I
just
think there's
wasn't
room
sure.
for both of us on that bed.
Oh, there definitely is. I can show you how. He's like, "You're the one giving me the look, man. I'm not."
Remind me what cult we're in again.
What?
What cult are we in again?
He
Are
wants
you
to
asking
know,
this-
like,
are
out
you-
of game, I think.
Are you asking this out of
What
game?
cult?
Oh, this is the
Yeah.
water cult.
Okay. I didn't realize the water cult was a sex cult.
Are you saying this out of game or in game? You gotta.
Out of game.
Okay.
Out of game.
I mean, you don't know.
Hey DM, out of game. After you do the games, Elwarin and I have.
So you're gonna try to walk outside.
Go outside and or we'd like to try and go outside and take a walk. to talk
Sure.
about
Yeah.
something.
So we'll get to that once I'm done with this real quick.
Cool.
Cromwell, are you also joining these card and dice games?
No.
Okay.
Good call.
He's like, "All right, we got 2 takers. Let's play some games, boys." And so you see total. So I'm gonna move Cromwell just so you're not in the way. Move you there. And then this guy comes over. This guy comes over. This guy comes over. He's like, "Alrighty, got ourselves a full house, 6 people." So how this is gonna work?
That's a full house. Cool.
Full house.
I thought a full house was 2 pairs and no, just kidding.
You know, that's
or one pair and a.
we're playing like this.
What would
I see.
happen if everybody agreed? Then we would have 7 people, and that can't be a full house. That's one more than a full house.
True. Our house is 2 full, actually. Is poker a game in this world?
Yes. So
Okay.
you guys are playing. Have you guys played 5-card poker before?
Yes.
I'm not asking
Yeah.
you. You're not playing.
I can explain the game to anyone who doesn't know, though.
Okay. We'll just pretend you all know how to play. So how this is gonna work?
Grandma taught me how to play.
Yeah. You guys are going to roll 5 d20s. Let's go ahead. And roll.
5d20s.
Yep, 5d20s.
Cool. Yahtzee.
And so the way this is gonna work is like the same numbers. So it's like a card. It's did I do this math right? Yeah, that's fine. So yeah,
you
so
just hit the 5 button. You just hit the 5, right?
Oh yeah, or you can type in /roll 5d20. And if you're proficient in playing cards, add your modifier to that. So you can do sleight of hand modifier with it, or what is Lando good? I think Lando's proficient in this. Let me check real quick.
How do I add a modifier for my skills?
Just add plus whatever your.
Oh, so it's okay. 78.
So yeah, so you're gonna roll plus deception, Lando, if you want to cheat, or you can just go with your normal roll.
Make that 3 and 8, man.
No, you just add 4. Because your modifier is 4, so you have 64.
Got it.
And so DQ, you have 73 plus either sleight of hand or deception.
Yeah, doing sleight of hand.
Sure. So what is that total?
78. Oh, do I need to roll?
No, you just need to add the modifier.
Oh, okay. How do I add to that?
Just
So
just type in 73 plus like 5 or whatever.
Okay, I was just gonna type 78 out. That's what I was
That's
gonna
fine.
do.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
64. Cool.
I thought you were asking me to do a function within the program.
No,
That's
no,
why I
no.
was like, I don't know how to do that.
No. So let's see. All right, so you beat one dude. Did I do that math right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. All right. So yeah. So DQ, you have won a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gold pieces. So you add 5 gold pieces to your inventory.
Easiest game of my life, boys.
It was close.
Eh.
The dude that was handing out the cards, he had a full house, and you had a 4 pair.
4 of a kind.
Four of a
4 of a
kind,
kind.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was close, and he's like, "Oh, I see you guys know how to play." And he's like, "How about we up the ante, huh? 2 gold pieces per person."
Why don't we play with some blinds on the? No, just kidding.
And he's just kind of looking at you guys. You guys still down to play? You lost one gold coin.
I'll do one more.
Uh,
Feeling boastful.
Sure. Lando, you lost 1 gold coin with that encounter.
Yeah, I noted it
Cool.
down.
So now if you want to play again, just subtract 2. Are you playing again?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Play
good.
one more, and then yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll the 5d20, and then add your +4 and +5 respectively.
Cool beans. Show me the money.
Don't forget to do the plus. You can just type /roll 5d20 plus your modifier.
No. Oh, that's how you do it. Okay. I'll just do that though for now. I can do basic math, thankfully.
Cool. 64 and 72. All right, they're gonna go.
Hope I can. Damn. Oh, okay.
So you guys lost to one person, the guy who's handing out the cards. This time you had a 3 of a kind, and he had a full house. It was close, but not close enough. So you have lost 2 gold pieces.
Beautiful.
And he smiles, and he's like, that was a good game. He's
Still
like,
up for the night. I'm gonna bail out.
yeah, he's like, that was fun. Appreciate you guys playing. We don't get too many people, too many fresh meat, as it were, coming through the keep. Are you guys here to join, or are you guys already cultists? Are you guys members? Do you guys know the sign?
Yeah. No.
I cross my arms and an X in front of me.
And he's like, okay.
No, I would not like to.
And he's like, huh. He's like,
Can't.
it's real interesting. You're
Yeah,
a
but
lizard folk.
I want to stay in the lane that we were just playing games as guys. So a few people just playing around. You turn into this whole cult thing. What? I know you guys are cultists, but come on.
Well, you're cultists too, aren't you?
Yeah.
Aren't you part of? Then wouldn't you want to talk about it?
Yeah, not this much though. Gosh. You know what time it is?
The dude's shaking his like, what do you mean? This is what we live for, right? We live to serve.
Totally. Yes, of course. I try to deceive him.
Sure.
I
Go
guess
and
at this point.
yeah, go and roll.
Deception. I thought it was a lot better as deception. I'm not.
Don't worry, he's also not very good at this. Ah, he has seen through your lies, though.
Oh, beautiful.
And he's like, you don't seem like you're on the up and up for some reason.
What do I
Seems
need
like
to
you're
prove
not
it to you?
excited.
What do I need to do?
Show me the sign.
I get immediately defensive.
Yeah, he's like, show me the sign, and then prove your loyalty to the water cult.
My sign.
The sign, yes. The sign we are all initiated with.
Can I like grab his attention?
So how would you like to try to do that?
Just by moving quickly, like laying down, just to get him to look at me.
Are you gonna lay down on the bed? Are you gonna make some noise?
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna?
No, I'll lay down on the bed. He's like facing towards me, right?
Sure.
He has 180 degrees of
No.
visual.
I agree, right? But he's like, I would say he's kind of engaged with this dude. DQ, make a perception roll for me. You gotta beat.
I was gonna ask if I could do that.
Yeah,
So.
you gotta beat like a 12. It's not that
Yeah,
hard.
that's fine.
Yeah. Because like you could see him if you looked over, but you're like engaged with this dude, and you're getting defensive. He made the 12. He made the 12, ladies and gentlemen.
So I'm gonna
Easiest roll of my life.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm gonna do the same like salute that they did, the arms crossed.
Okay.
To hit like looking.
I pick up on that.
Okay.
And then I mimic that.
Okay, he's like, all right, one down, one to go. How do you show your devotion to our Lord and Savior, the Water Prince?
Praise be the Water Prince.
You just had to open your big ass mouth.
Sorry, be praised with the Water Prince.
He's like, see, you had me going, right? You had the sign down, you played games with us. But if you were a true believer, you would know this is a princess.
Excuse me? I doubled down.
He looks at you.
I tried to make him believe that he's never met that person. He's never actually met the leader. Can I assume that maybe?
What kind of role would you like to make for this? Intimidation, deception. What are you trying to do here, my dude?
This isn't intimidation because I'm trying to power play him. I'm
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to be like, I've met, persuasion. I forgot persuasion was actually a
persuasion,
skill.
yes. I'm letting you choose.
Let me see what I have.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do intimidation because
Sure.
I'm actually better at that.
I feel like intimidation works better in this because
I
you're
feel like
getting
intimidation works
angry.
better in the scenario because I'm trying to like basically be like, you don't know anything about the.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the ramifications of an intimidate fail is way
You
worse
think
than
okay,
the ramifications of a persuasion.
I'll
Well,
talk to the group. Okay, I'm gonna tabletop.
yeah, if you want to
which
tabletop
one's
here.
which one's actually? To give me a lowdown or
So-
a
I don't know
lay down.
I don't know how the DM would rule this, but
I guess I want to paint the situation here, right? Like,
Give me a base. Okay, you can paint
Just-
it. Yeah.
I just want to give you like the situation you found yourself in. The dude is concerned that you may not be part of the group, because one, you didn't know the sign immediately, and two, you didn't know that it was a princess, not a prince, that you were dealing with. So he's just wary, like the fuck's happening. He might think you're just really stupid. He might think you're new. There's a couple different things he might be thinking. So I'll let that kind of form what your decision is to
that
be.
idea.
So in intimidation, like if you fail your intimidation, it could go really poorly,
Okay.
where you get tossed into like prison, essentially, for the night. Like as like a general thing, right? Like if you're like in a group of like cultists, you intimidate them, you fail, you typically get thrown into a jail of some sort, or they immediately start to attack you because they don't trust you anymore. Persuasion, he might think you're just real stupid.
I'm gonna do persuasion, and I'm just gonna go based off the idea that I am a newbie, and that he should kind of understand that Jolliver recognizes me as one of the group.
Sure.
So he should also recognize
Yeah.
me even
just
through
saying-
my stupidity. I'll do that one.
Yeah, I'm saying intimidation could work really well because then you could like say like, no, you're wrong, you're stupid. It's actually a prince. What are you
That's
thinking?
why I'm asking.
I'm just saying like there are.
I can do either route. I'm down for either. I just want to be the ramifications of the group. I don't want to like throw the whole game off because I fucking do something stupid here.
Sure.
So what do you guys think
So
I should do?
I'm just saying like for the ranges, persuasion has a lower high and a lower low. Intimidation has a much higher high and a much lower low. Like
guys
the
think
risk, the
it'd be
risks
worth
on both sides are
the
different.
intimidation, or do you think it's just cool to go the persuasion route? That's what I'm asking the group.
Follow your heart.
Yeah,
Go
whatever
for
your
it.
character would do. I just want to
Okay.
make sure that you understood.
Okay, I just didn't want to
What
throw
you're
it away. I'm gonna do intimidation
Okay.
and
I
YOLO.
would love to kill all these guys.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty then. Ooh,
God damn it.
it's
That's a
not
bad
ideal.
intimidation roll.
It's not, it was a bad intimidation roll.
Hell yeah, guys. We're getting some action tonight.
About 50%.
You know, it was above 50%. You're not wrong, and you did have a higher than 50% chance of winning, but you did not meet that 50% chance. He had a +0 to wisdom for this roll, just as a clarification.
You're a
And-
piece of shit.
and he crit 20'd it. So he kind of looks at you and he's like, boys, we got a non-believer here, I think. And he whistles, and these two on the sides of you kind of grab you, and they're like, we're gonna go talk to Jolliver about this. And they
Excuse me. Are we gonna have a problem here?
your friend doesn't know things he's supposed to know as a cultist.
Is this where you also do an intimidation check?
That's up to Ulrich. I'm not going to choose what his character does.
Yeah, I'll do an intimidate check.
Sure.
Fuck it. YOLO, right?
I'm standing right next to them. I'd also like to, get in on that.
So, like I said, I wanted to key into you guys. He rolled a critical 20.
Okay.
Go Lando, go.
Okay, so
We're all just
Lando
posturing.
postures interestingly. I'm going to say because you have this metal chain wrapped around your stomach, you seem
Yes,
a
I
bit.
Why?
You seem a bit more like I'm a fight you than Ulrich, who was reading a book previously and was laying down. Ulrich is still in.
into a wolf at this point.
You want to what now?
What?
Just to
mean,
scare the shit out of people.
You might
Try
as
to
well
trick-
become the friggin' spider.
This isn't a sitcom.
So
I can do the spider thing.
he kind of looks at Ulrich and he looks at Lando and he's like, "Your dude is not educated. I'm gonna have Jolliver educate him because he seems new. He seems real stupid. But I don't like that he tried to tell me that I didn't know what I know. He tried to lie to me about that. And I just want to bring him over to Jolliver. I think that's what I'm supposed to do here."
All right, let's go. I just get angry.
He's like, all right. And then the three of them kind of take you. I'm gonna grab you also.
Cool.
Let's do this. How do I do this? I hate that you can't multi. Oh, maybe I can multi-select. I cannot.
Want me to
God
just do
damn
it?
it! I hate
I
this.
Yeah, you
got
should be able to.
I got
Hold
you.
shit.
No, because it grabs the entire like group.
Is it okay that I did this?
Yeah, that's fine.
I go.
Oh, you
okay.
can like shift click on things, like click.
Or control. I think it's control click that you want to do.
No, I did shift click, but it selects the entire like rectangle because there's people like up here. So no, why you're going this way, dude?
I know. I was just following the steps. Do you see the steps?
Why would
Oh,
you go up
sorry,
the
I
steps
went-
to a different
I
location?
thought there was like a fog of war, like with the steps. And that's what I thought it was.
No.
Like that.
No, yeah, 1 second.
I forgot. That's all.
You're good.
Remember, I'm not educated on the cult.
You're not
You think
educated
I
on
know-
the cult,
You
indeed.
think I know the layout of this?
Yeah, you're not educated on the cult, indeed. So they walk you into this office, and Jolliver's like, "What now, Grayson?" He's like, "Sir, this one
Okay.
thinks that the princess is a prince. Please educate him, please, sir." And Jolliver just kind of looks at you, DQ, and you just see in his eyes, he's like, "Why do you always cause me trouble? Like, I don't understand how you've been here a total of like 10 minutes, man. How have you done so many wrong things?" All in his eyes looking at you, right? That's all his eyes are telling you. He's like-
Jolliver, I'm sorry.
He's like, did you forget that we have a princess, not a prince we follow?
It was just his accent. I couldn't, when I was initiated.
And he's like, did you have Johnson?
Yes, Johnson.
Yeah,
God, okay.
he looks at
Very passionate, but
yeah, he's like, yeah, Johnson has a Orin accent. It's really, really harsh between prince and princess. And if he's only heard it once, I could understand that he heard prince. What would you have me do? Just no, it's princess. These guys are very passionate. And he kind of says that with a smile to you about their devotion to the princess. Just remember it's princess. I understand Johnson has a very thick accent. and it's tough sometimes. He's like, I have met a couple of you that think it's a prince, and you see kind of the group. They were a bit on edge. They kind of relax, and they're like, "Oh, okay." If Jolliver says that, this guy Johnson has a really thick accent, I believe him. Jolliver's great. Whenever we have to work for him, he's always super nice to us.
I kneel before Jolliver.
Huh?
I kneel before Jolliver for humbling me on my improper.
He's like, no, please stand, please stand. It's okay.
Thank you.
He's like,
I wink back. I wink at him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I get it. Johnson's tough to kind of learn from, and then the group is just like super like, you like as you kind of walk in the room, like the group seemed like in awe of having an audience with Jolliver. Jolliver seems to be a big deal to these guys. So the fact that he's been like super like nice about this is like just blowing their minds right now. They seem just very like kind of taken aback. They're like, "Sir, is he important?" And Jolliver's like, kind of. And they're like, "Oh," and they kind of look at you like, we apologize, I guess, for the issue, but
it's okay, I guess.
Just if you don't know, just say you don't know. You know what I mean? But I get it. You heard prince, princess. It's all good. And they're like, "We will leave you to your sleep, Jolliver." Jolliver's like, yes, please. I will see you all in the morning. And then you guys as a group wander back over here.
Thank God. Oh, you did it. Nice.
I moved you over. Why'd you move yourself out?
I think I did it at the same time as you. I didn't know. I thought you were gonna have issues again with doing it.
No, it's good. I just grabbed you all the time. So you guys are back. That took about 2 or 3 minutes. It wasn't all. And they're like, yeah, we heard that he was taught by Johnson. Johnson's got a really shitty accent. He heard prince instead of princess. It's all good. That's what they tell you guys. And you guys are when they come back. And everybody, like all the other people in the group, are just kind of like sigh, like, Johnson, god damn it.
I look at DQ.
Mm-hmm.
I give him like a glance, like you okay sort of look.
Yeah, and I give him a little smirk, like a yeah, like hinting to him that it's all right.
Yeah, I wander back, reopen my book.
Cool. So with that night, like darkness has kind of fallen, and yeah, y'all kind of I guess wander to the bunks you want to sleep in. Now, this would be your opportunity, BigYin and Elwarin, if you wanted to take a nighttime stroll. But you would know that the group kind of says like, yeah, like we're supposed to stay in the barracks all night to sleep, but yeah, I mean. That's what they tell you, right? So you're in game, like you would wait till they all went to sleep, and then if you wanted to sneak out to kind of have your conversation under this night, that would be how you do it. But it would be a stealth check to kind of get out the door, sort of deal.
Sounds good.
And I gave Cromwell a note
Okay.
that I wrote while studying and translating, and it said, "You take first watch, I'll take second. 4-hour shifts with a 2-hour overlap."
That's not
Implying.
a long. That's a 6-hour total rest.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
No, I mean, we're not like it's like what time is it?
It's probably
like
like 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah. When are we gonna be getting up?
Well, so Jolliver did say like crack at dawn. He wanted to talk to you
Yeah,
guys.
but you'd
Probably send in somebody to wake you. Probably.
a long rest does not necessitate 8 hours of actual.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just wanted to make sure we were clear that it was just 6 hours total of watch being held. That was all.
Well, I'm assuming that we're going to be awake.
No, everybody here seems to be. I mean, I don't know about the rest of the group, but
Like,
all the.
instantly asleep.
Which
I
is
mean-
not good.
I mean, the group that's in here that's affiliated with the water cult. They look like they're about to just go to sleep.
I think, correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong, Ulrich, you're like saying we're not going to bed right away, but when we
Yeah.
do, that's when
Right.
that's the plan. That's what
When
he's.
the shift, the watch
Yeah,
happens,
that's fine.
people are asleep.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, that Jolliver is probably going to come wake you up or get you guys going, like, at the crack of dawn. And you guys currently have a 6-hour watch window created, is all I was saying.
Okay.
So
So, hold on.
Mhm.
I just want to clarify this. Would that make it so that we are still able to get a long rest in?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just letting you know, like, you're only
And then
actively watching for 6 hours. That's all I was trying to say. In case anything happens tonight, you guys are only awake for 6 of those hours, like actively, like watching, I guess. That's all I was saying.
sure.
But you can still get your long rest in. Like, that's not a problem.
Yeah. The assumption is that people will probably be in our group. Will probably be awake the first hour and the last hour. Right.
I don't want to make that decision for your
yes.
team, but sure.
Sure.
I would assume naturally, yeah, that would probably be the case.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway.
Cool. So night falls. After about a couple hours, everybody just kind of hanging out in the room. Most of the people of Riverguard Keep go to sleep, and then it's just you guys. I don't know if you guys want to fall asleep with them. It's up to you. I'm gonna make the decision. Choose your bunk, as they would say. As these guys kind of just wander over and go to their beds as per usual.
And I'll look at Elwarin once everyone's in their bed, and I'll just say, "Right, let's go."
Okay.
And we'll try and sneak our way out once everyone's asleep.
Okay, roll a stealth check for me. Is this during while Cromwell and Ulrich are doing their watch, or is
Yeah,
your watch?
we don't mind
completed?
if they see us.
That's fine. I'm just asking. I'm
We just
asking
want the
when their
cultists to
watch.
get
I'm asking when their watch is happening. 2
What
hours
time?
in, like midnight to
They
like
have
6
4
a.m.
hours into their.
I'm asking those two. Like, what's their game plan? Is it like midnight to 6 a.m. is when you guys are planning to keep watch?
I don't know when dawn is, so
Dawn's gonna be around 6:37.
then it'll be 6 hours with the end being at 5:30,
Okay, so
or
11.
with the end being an hour before dawn. Sorry.
Okay, so we'll say total 6. Just keep it easy. So these two are heading out roughly at 10:30. Is what I would say time wise.
Sounds good.
Cool. So both of you guys make stealth checks for me.
Oof.
Oof.
Oh wow.
Y'all are not very good at this whole being stealthy thing.
Yeah, you tripped.
Yeah. So Elwarin, you kind of.
Again.
Yeah, Elwarin was on the top bunk, which was probably a bad decision for him. He's not used to sleeping up high, unless it's in a tree. And as he tried to roll out of bed, he rolled too far. He didn't understand how thin the bed was, and he just falls right on his back, and a big crash occurs. And the cultists kind of, or the people around here all wake up. They're like, "Huh? What happened?" And then they just see kind of Elwarin on his back, just like looking up at the ceiling. I don't know if you want to have a reaction to this, Elwarin.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play it off and pretend I had a bad dream that kind of shook me out of the bed.
Sure. BigYin, this happened before you like fully started walking out. Like you rolled out of bed as Elwarin fell down. So they didn't. They just kind of they just assumed that you woke up when you heard him fall on his ass off the bed.
Okay.
Do you guys say anything? I mean, you just say like, "Yeah, I had a bad dream" or whatever, Elwarin.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'll
it's
say
super
you're
bad,
alright.
Looking at me.
I'll look at one of the guys who woke up. It's like, "Is there a privy about?"
They're like, "Yeah, it's outside around the corner. Just if one of the guards questions you, just say you're with Jolliver and you're going to go to the bathroom."
Right. Well, I'll go to the privy.
Okay. Elwarin, this is your opportunity to say, "I also need to go to the bathroom," if you wanted to follow him.
Yeah, I probably need to freshen up a bit after my fall here. So
They're like,
I'm
"Yeah,
gonna go ahead.
I recommend getting some ice on that probably, or water.
Right or
cold
left
water."
corner?
Is that?
Right or left turn?
Maybe you should have asked that before.
They said around the corner to the left.
Okay.
All right, so are you heading out, Elwarin? That's my question.
Yeah.
So hang out right here for me. Yeah. So you just kind of walk out. You guys see a guard with a torch up here. These guys, sorry, aren't here. They're elsewhere. And you see person stationed outside of the door over here. They kind of see you walk out. They're like, "Oh, can I help you guys?"
We're going to the loo and we didn't need you to hold our hands.
Oh yeah, it's just around the corner there.
Thank you.
And she kind of points around the corner, and she's like, "Just enter into this room right here."
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, you guys find yourselves in a bathhouse. You see a big wash tub, and you see some toilets.
Okay.
Some privies.
So, I'll say I got some information. I figured you ought to know, and I ought to tell somebody else in case anything happens to me. Right?
Did you get some information from Jolliver when you stayed behind?
Aye, I did. I explained to him our history from the beginning when we all met. And I got us the name of our contact who we should have met in the town that bastard priest didn't tell us. Because Brooke was misbehaving, God rest his soul. So,
what's the contact's name?
the contact's name is Halia Hanadrum. She runs the bathhouse in town. So I think it'd be worth investigating. And as we have a week before we ought to come back and teach these culty bastards a what for, we may as well go talk to her. It's entirely possible that the Earth cult may have grabbed the party we're looking for. So, we've got a week to prepare.
I think
Additionally,
Oh.
Our friend here has got some gear he's going to give us this, at the crack of dawn, before the rest of these jamrolls wake up. So, that's just about it. He's a kind man, this one. He doesn't like what he's doing.
You trust him with the information he gave you?
I do.
Okay. I think that's a good idea to circle back and find this Halia.
Aye.
We just
Maybe
have
she
to
can
make
also-
sure we want to make sure that our group is on the same page and wants to go back, or the plan would not be a good idea if they decide to head into the hills.
I mean, we couldn't leave them to fend for themselves. They wouldn't know what to do without us. Anyways,
Yeah.
the last thing, there are spies in the town. If there are spies in the town, it's entirely possible they might have some additional documentation or leads that we might want to get. So, I reckon we circle back, do some shopping, find the bathhouse, talk to the lady in charge, and then see what we can do about catching a spy or two, busting the ring, and getting every bit of information we can. You reckon we can sell that?
I think that sounds like a good plan. Better than
Aye.
going up in there with them all gathering together.
And I'll walk over to the basin, put some water in the bowl, splash the water on my face, make it look like I washed up.
Mhm.
I was like, right, that water's cold. Bathe the bruise you've got, and I'll see you back in there. And I'll walk back.
So just for Elwarin's kind of thing, you have a bit of a bruise on your back, but it's not like that bad. It was just a very loud sound because like as you were falling, your elbow also kind of like hit the wood as you were falling down. That's what caused like most of the noise actually. And then you just kind of like, it was just a smack on the ground as you fell. And it wasn't that high up. It was like 5 feet up. It wasn't that high.
Yeah, I still notice that it actually hurts a bit, so I'm gonna put on some cold water and get the bruise taken care of a bit.
And I'll make
then I
my
head
way back.
too.
Cool. Yeah, and you guys head back over here. Cool. I'm guessing you guys just go to sleep at this point.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So then, is Cromwell taking the first watch?
Yeah.
Cool. So Cromwell, you're taking the first watch. The first 2 hours, nothing really happens. And then Ulrich wakes up, or I guess you wake Ulrich up. I'm guessing. I don't know how you guys do your watch such shifts, but you guys had the 2 hours kind of together. This is your current 2 hours together. Are you guys going to talk or anything, or you just wanted to stay up together?
Just staying up. It's more watching. I want to make sure like everyone is actually asleep.
Mhm.
And it's also good to just make sure that if something does go down while we're awake, there's 2 people who are ready.
Sure. Yeah, nothing really happens during those 2 hours.
You can do a perception roll just in case.
Sure.
I'm sure nothing's going on, but hey.
Yeah, no, nothing seems to happen. Everybody seems to be sound asleep. You also kind of like were alerted when Elwarin fell down because he's right next to you.
Yeah.
But everybody else seemed to go back to sleep after a couple minutes of that. And yeah, so that's yeah, nothing seems too off. And then you're up for the next 2 hours. Nothing seems to be going on. And then an hour later, Urshinora kind of wades in through the door, and she walks over to Lando and just kind of touches him with some cold water on his face, and then puts a finger into her mouth. And then she does the same to DQ and Cromwell, and she just kind of does that to everybody in the room, and she kind of just does a motion for y'all to follow her.
Sticks her finger in my mouth.
No, she puts a hand on your your forehead to like cold water on your face sort of deal. When people wake you up in the morning, when you're a child.
If you did that to me in real life, it wouldn't wake me up.
Yeah, me either.
Well,
I think someone has to slap me to wake me up.
No, so like you guys were aware that you needed to be up.
A heavy sleeper.
I mean, you guys were aware. So like, okay, fine. If you don't wake up when she does that, she like just slowly puts a finger into your ear like a wet willy and just swirls it around a little bit.
I didn't want that.
Well, you didn't wake up when she was nice about it. So she just kind of shrugs that she has to do this to a couple of you. I'm guessing looks like Cromwell and Lando specifically, and she just puts a finger over her mouth to like kind of get you guys to be quiet. She kind of asks you guys to follow her out. No stealth rolls needed. You guys can just walk out quietly, unless you want to make a stealth roll if you want to be super sneaky about it. Nice, he does a good job.
No, thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so everybody kind of walks out, and she just kind of motions you guys over to the door over here.
I'm the least stealthiest stealth person.
And then she motions for you guys just to walk in, and you see Jolliver kind of standing there, waiting for a couple more folks.
Coming.
Why do you go into the wall?
I'm in the
Can't you
wall.
just be a normal person? Just walk through the door. Are you trying to teleport through the wall? It doesn't make any sense. Do we lose DQ?
Doodaloo,
Okay.
DQ.
I am here. I was dealing with my cap.
He also teleported through the wall.
Yeah, magic.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So as you guys kind of don't move away from the table if you could please. If y'all could move away from the table, that would be great. So as you guys kind of walk in, I will physically move you. Okay. As you guys walk in, you guys just see a slur of armor, shields, and weapons laid out on the table, and there are 2 boxes also there. Jolliver says, "Good morning, compatriots. I have some weapons and armor and shields here that might be of use to you, and a box each for the Firbolg and the Orc Wizard." He hands over the box to the Orc Wizard, and he's like, "Feel free to open that." Do you open it?
Sure.
No. Orc Wizard. Orc Wizard.
Sorry.
How am I opening it?
It's just a normal box, dude. How do you want to open up a normal box that has a ring?
Like, do I roll to open it or what?
If you want to, I don't
Understood.
know. You just open it. You just say I open it, or you can make a roll for it. It's up to you. You can
Okay.
check to see if it's booby trapped if you want. I don't know what your game plan
I
is.
will check to see if it's booby trapped.
Sure, investigation roll. If you want to do some Arcana, also feel free.
All right, one sec.
I'm just saying, thus far you guys have no reason to not trust Jolliver, I would say, but that's up to you guys.
My character sheet is freaking out.
Sure.
I think we do have reason just because of the fact that he's working with cultists and these guys don't know him besides the fact that, yeah.
But you know the
Right.
reason why he's working with the cultists is not of his own volition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Sure. It's fine. Just
But-
letting y'all know.
He is.
Everybody is distrustful.
Oh, he's literally working with the
distrustful.
cult.
Yeah, everyone's like, he's legit, but like he definitely seems like at least compelled to be working in favor of the cultists.
Yeah, because people that he cares about lives are in danger.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying from an outside perspective.
Sure. I'm
For
just
people who've been fighting cultists and seeing fucked up shit from cultists, you're still probably gonna be like, yeah, I
So-
wish he wasn't working with cultists.
Sure.
Probably.
So this is your first interaction with the water cult, to be fair.
Yeah, but in our minds, to my understanding, every cult's bad.
Sure, and that's not a terrible thing.
hey, cat baby,
Sure. How's your character
I'll
sheet
call
going?
your best.
Right.
Our cult's best cult.
Okay, roll investigation. Awesome. Nothing seems to be off about the box. It's just a regular box. You
Cool.
detect that there might be some magic inside of the box.
I open the box.
Yeah, it's a ring of mind shielding. So what that ring is, it's a while wearing the ring, you are immune to magic that allows other creatures to read your thoughts, determine whether you are lying, know your alignment, or know your creature type. Creatures can telepathically communicate with you only if you allow it. You can use an action to cause the ring to become invisible, until you use another action to make it visible, until you remove the ring, or until you die. If you die while wearing the ring, your soul enters it, unless it already houses a soul. You can remain in the ring or depart for the afterlife. As long as your soul is in the ring, you can telepathically communicate with any creature wearing it. A wearer can't prevent this telepathic communication. Just a regular ring of mind.
So if you die, you're trapped in the ring, and then you can communicate with the next wearer.
Yes, or you can choose to depart for the afterlife. Up to you.
Okay. So I was gonna say I'd totally put it on someone else and kill them, but
I mean, you can definitely try to do that.
It's a choice.
It's a
You don't
choice.
have to get stuck in a ring.
well,
I
no,
think
the
that-
plan was to trap somebody else in the ring.
You could try.
But there's the option to depart for the afterlife, so there goes that plan.
Yeah. And
Is there anyone in the ring right now?
no.
Okay.
Jolliver says, I found that one of our privateering, and the person that we apprehended the boat from gave me this ring as a way to prevent me from taking everything. So yeah, and he says, for you, Fearbolg, he hands you a box.
I'll open the box.
Okay. Inside the box, you find a ring of healing word. What this ring has is 3 charges of the spell Healing Word. I think it's a first level spell. Let me double check real quick. And you can expend one kind of slot, if you want to think of it that way, of the 3 as an action or bonus action, whichever the casting time of Healing Word is, to cast Healing Word at first level. And you will regain 1 slot of that per night. And he's like, you seem like a druidic fellow, so I thought this might be helpful for you, so you don't have to use
Appreciate it.
all of your magic to heal your party members. He kind of looks directly at DQ as he says that, because I think some of them might get into trouble once in a while.
Hey, I've had to do a fair bit of healing on that one, especially.
Cool. And then the rest of you guys, there's just a variety of weapons, shields, and weapons and shields with some armor on the table too. He kind of looks at all of you and he's like, well, I figured those 2 probably wouldn't use weapons or shields as much as the rest of you, so I gave them that. Hope that's not too much of a problem. However, I have he kind of smiles, taking it upon myself to suggest some items for some of you guys. And he walks over to Elwarin, and he hands you a bow. This bow is elven made, which you can tell. It's made specifically from the elves of the High Forest, which you are from. Well, sort of. You're kind of from there. And you see carvings of lightning bolts on there. And you know this to be one of the few storm bows that are outside of the High Forest. This is a magical bow that grants a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls when you make it. I can't remember if this is in the compendium or not. If it's not, I will add it to your thing in the future. This is a cool magic item that I wanted.
Okay, what were you saying?
So it's called the Storm Bow. It's not in the compendium, so I'll have to add this manually. It's a magical bow that grants a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls you make with it. When you cast a ranger spell, it grants a +1 bonus to spell attack rolls, and your spell DC increases by 1. When you fire an evocation arcane shot from this bow, you can deal lightning damage instead of the other damage type, and if you do deal the lightning damage, it's an additional 1d6 lightning damage. The storm bow has 4 charges, and it regains 1 charge per hour spent in a thunderstorm, and it regains all expended charges at dawn. When you hit with a ranged attack using it, you can expend 1 charge to deal an additional 1d8 lightning damage. When you cast a ranger spell, you can expend 2 charges per spell level slot to double the damage your spell inflicts. And I'll send you a link to I'll send you the copy of that later. Yeah. And he's like, I got this from a elven fellow who was, we'll say, lost. He kind of gave this to me and told me if I found someone worthy and someone who I thought could use it, to give it to them, as he was giving up the life of the ranger to pursue other things, as you would say. And he says, for UDQ, I would recommend this. And he hands you a bow. It is a jet black bow with wooden carvings with little clouds on them, kind of embedded into it. And it's got a jet black string also. It's a whisper bow. So this is a magical bow that grants you +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls when you make with it. While you wield Whisper, you gain dark vision to a range of 60 feet. If you already have dark vision, which you don't, you get an additional 30 feet. You can also communicate telepathically with any willing creature you see within 30 feet of you while wielding this bow.
Holy shit.
While you are hidden or invisible, your attacks with this weapon deals psychic damage instead of other kind of damage you would deal. And as a bonus action, you can roll a DC 15 concentration check. And if you succeed, attacks you make this round do not end your invisibility or reveal your position. And if you fail, obviously, it doesn't work.
Gotcha. That's a lot to take in. Do I need to write all that down?
I'll send you a link to that also.
Okay.
And he kind of looks around to the rest of you, and he looks over at Ulrich. He's like, I think you'd like this shield. And he kind of tosses it over to you. Do you try to catch it?
No, I don't. I let it hit me and fall to the ground.
Excellent.
Then I pick it up.
Excellent. As you don't go to catch it, he smiles and says in Dwarvish, rise. And as it's falling to the ground, the shield kind of rises up in front of you and floats. And you would recognize this.
I just talked about this. If you're magic, if you're gonna do magic stuff,
please, Jolliver. He asked one thing.
And you just see Jolliver smiling with a shit-eating grin on his face. He's like, I didn't think he was gonna catch it, so I wanted to play this prank.
You didn't think he'd catch it?
No, I didn't, because he didn't seem to trust me too much.
Yeah,
So he's like, this is an animated shield. While holding the shield, you can speak a command word, which is the dwarven word rise, as a bonus action to cause it to animate. When it animates, the shield leaps up into the air and hovers in a space in front of you, protecting you as if you're wielding it, leaving your hand free. The shield remains animated for 1 minute until you use your bonus action to end this effect, or you are incapacitated or die, at which point the shield falls to the ground or into your hands if you have one that's free. It's a regular shield that floats in front of you, so you have a free hand, pretty much.
pretty dope.
Yeah, which might work for your grappling desires in the future if you want to do that. Cool. And then kind of looks at the rest of you two, And there's just two of you left, right? It's just Cromwell and Lando, right?
Yeah.
He looks at the two of you guys. He's like, I figured the short one. He kind of points over to Lando. I figured he was a berserker barbarian sort. He's got a fucking.
I'm the
chain.
tall one.
And he looks at you. He's like, "Sure, you can be the tall one if you want."
Yep.
I used to be
Confidence.
Sure. He kind of looks at both of you. He's like, I wasn't sure what you guys would want, but I have a couple ideas. And he lays out 4 weapons in front of both of you. One is a berserker axe. One is a dwarven thrower, but it's called Little Dwarven Thrower. You have a frostbrand and the Mini Avenger. Those are the 3 weapons in front of you. He kind of talks about them. If you want to inquire what they do or what they are, feel free to ask.
Wait, so there's a berserker's axe.
Berserker axe, the
little hammer.
Little Dwarven Thrower. That's what it's
Little
called.
dwarven thrower.
Yep. The Frostbrand and the Little Avenger.
What does the Little Avenger do? Why is there 2 littles?
And you ask him why there's 2 weapons named Little, and he kind of laughs. He says, well, the Little Dwarven Thrower is a specific dwarf weapon. It's called Little because it's not as powerful as the Dwarven Thrower, but it's still pretty good. This one is a +1 bonus to attack damage rolls. It's a magical weapon. It has a thrown property with a normal range of 20 feet and a long range of 60 feet. When you hit with a ranged attack using this weapon, it deals an extra 1d8, or if it's a giant, it deals 2d8 damage. And immediately after attacking, the weapon flies back into your hand like Mjolnir from Thor. And then the Little Holy Avenger, or Little Avenger, it's a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls with a magic weapon. And when you hit a fiend or undead with it, the creature takes an extra 2d10 radiant damage. And when you hold the drawn sword, it creates a 10-foot radius around you. And the friendly creatures within that 10-foot radius have advantage on saving throws against spells or magical effects for 1 minute that you concentrate on.
What does the original axe do? Is it just
The
very
Berserker
strong
Axe.
Yes.
So that's a magical axe. It's a +1 bonus to damage and attack rolls. And when you're attuned to this weapon, you can increase your hit point maximum by 1 for each level you've attained. That's what he knows.
I want that one.
The Berserker Axe?
Yes, that sounds super cool.
Okay. And he kind of smiles as he takes that. He's like, I thought you might like that one.
Yeah.
So, for you, Cromwell, there is the Little Dwarven Thrower, which probably doesn't work for you because you're not a dwarf. There is the Frostbrand, and there is the Little Avenger.
Can you explain the Little Avenger again?
Yeah, it's a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls with a magic weapon. If you hit a fiend or undead with it, the creature takes an extra 2d10 radiant damage. And while you hold the drawn sword, you can concentrate for up to a minute, and it creates a aura of 10-foot radius around you. And friendly creatures in that 10-foot radius have advantage on saving throws against spells or other magical effects.
Is this a one-handed weapon?
It can be one or two-handed, up to you. He kind of looks at you and he's like, it's a longsword, so it's up to you if you want to wield that with 1 or 2 hands.
Cool, I'll take that one.
Okay. He's like, well chosen, well chosen.
Can you explain again the Berserker Axe so I can write it down?
Yeah, I'll send you a link to it.
Cool.
So all of these weapons require attunement. So what that means is you guys can only have up to 3 things attuned to your character. And so you guys will need to spend between 1 and 4 hours attuning yourselves to these equipment. You just have to sit with it and just kind of think on it. It would be helpful to have Useless or BigYin help you with the attunement. It'll shorten it down to just the 1 hour mark, because it seems most of y'all don't have magical abilities. So when you guys are traveling, you would just need to spend 4 hours if you don't want help to attune to these magical things.
What did Cromwell get, just so I can make sure I have it noted?
Cromwell has the Little Avenger. which is a +1 to a hit and to damage. And if he hits
Got
a
it.
fiend or undead with it, it takes an extra 2d10 radiant damage.
Got it.
And then while he holds it, he can concentrate for up to a minute, create a 10-foot radius around him, so that people in that 10-foot radius circle have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. And he's like, excellent. He kind of takes the other weapons and shields and stuff like that, and he kind of puts them away. And he's like, well, I would recommend you guys head off. If you want, you can take the boat that is outside in the harbor. There's a man out there that I feel would be helpful to take you guys over to the Red Larch quickly. His name is Chasseur. And yeah, he should be able to take you guys out of here and to the Red Larch fairly quickly. At least out of the area that we're in right now. You guys can walk the rest of the way. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to linger, feel free to. But I just don't know what purpose you would have to kind of hang out here more than this.
I wanted to talk to Jolliver very quick.
Sure.
I just want to say, Jolliver, before you put away all your gear, do you happen to have any spare arrows that I could use or take with me, possibly buy from you?
Oh, yeah. And he kind of goes back to the room and he says, how many arrows do you need?
5 be fine.
Yeah, again, he just hands you 5, and he's like, yeah, that's fine with me. We've got plenty of arrows around here. But yeah, I mean, if you want magical arrows, got a few of those, but I already gave you a nice thing, so I'd have to make you pay for it to make it worth my while, unfortunately.
What kind of magical arrows do you have?
You see a big smile on his face. And he's like, well, I got these interesting arrows. They deal an extra 1d6 radiant damage when they hit. The target rolls a DC 14 Constitution saving throw, and if they fail, they're blinded until the beginning of your next turn. And I've got a total of 5 of these, and the arrow will disappear when you've used it, and it'll reappear in your quiver the next morning at dawn if you don't retrieve it.
Interesting. How much would you like for those 5 arrows?
He's like, oh, you know, these are hard to come by. I'd probably be able to part with them for like 300 gold.
How much for 2?
Damn.
He's like, okay, and he tries to do some math in his head. He's like, I could probably do 100.
Let's do 75, and I'll get it.
He's like, sure. Why? Yeah, your friend's a DQ, I guess. That's fine. And he hands you both arrows. I'll send you the link for that as also.
Yeah. Is my weapon the same axe that's in the compendium?
No, I will send you a information on that. Well, I'll add that in there manually, or you can do it.
Because it was the one on the compendium looks very aggressive.
The Berserker axe? Let me see. It might be in the compendium. Let me check.
Because it's cursed. I don't want to be cursed.
Let me
Too
see.
bad.
If it's in here, this might be it, actually. This is it. Nice. Yeah, this is the axe.
It's cursed.
Well, you don't know this yet. You haven't attuned to it yet.
Yeah, but that seems like a really negative curse.
How? How is that a negative curse?
Well, I can only use that weapon.
Sure.
I have to attack something.
Sure.
And then if I get hit, I have to make a saving throw.
Or you
every time
attack
I get
more.
attacked.
Is that not what you want to do when you fight?
Also, didn't you give him? Didn't you give him like 5 items?
What? No. He has.
Oh, I thought. Oh, I forgot he gave 5.
He had a choice of 4.
Oh, okay.
So I literally I just get into a fight and the only thing I can do is fucking attack.
I mean, you can attack with other things, just at disadvantage.
No, I know, but...
But hey, I mean, you get to go into a rage even harder.
Once you're in, man.
In a heartbeat. Oh! If I don't save, I just go nuts.
Yeah,
and
you
then
just
I
attack.
can even skip turns. I can just fucking run in and get hit.
Exactly.
And then, bump my shit.
Is this not what you want to do in fights?
I was like,
Not
I've
exactly
never
what I
seen an encounter where you didn't just attack.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's like
except when I went to go
Combat
loot
loot?
those chests.
Well, then
Oh,
you
that
better.
is true.
Combat looting, but I can't. Now I can no longer combat loot if they're.
Oh
my God.
let's-
We have plenty
You
of
found the
combat
perfect counter.
Oh, that sucks. It's gonna take away one of my favorite things to do.
We have plenty of combat
So, like I
loot,
said,
I
if-
guarantee you, Mr. Lando.
If you succeed on the
Okay, so
DC's
the-
15 Wisdom saving throw, you're fine.
The only question I have is whether or not the creatures that I am within 60 feet of, does that count as just like enemies, or does that count as all creatures? 'Cause it says no creatures, so that makes me think that it's all creatures.
I believe it's all creatures.
So I have to run the fuck away from everybody, friend or foe, otherwise I will hit them. Is that what?
I mean, so that's the thing, right? Like, if you save on the DC's 15 saving throw, I'm only going to have that happen once per combat. I think having it happen, like, multiple times would be crazy. If you succeed, then you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
But if you fail, you go berserk. And there are ways
Got it.
to
Yeah,
reduce
I'll take that risk.
or
Yeah,
remove
no.
curses from items. You just have to find a person to do that.
Got it. Good to know.
So, and you would know this from, like, just being with Mr. Leader.
And does the +1 bonus, does that just change like your roll to +1 more?
Yeah.
Just so I'm getting that right? Like
Yep.
if you roll 23, it'd be 24.
Yep. But it'll automatically come as part of your roll.
Got
it. Cool. So do you guys want to head out and head over to...
Wait, one more question.
Yep.
Attunement?
Mhm.
Is that just something like, do you have to do that? You only do that once?
No, so you can have up to 3 items attuned to you, and it's going to
Yeah,
take
and, like,
roughly
Just
4
like
hours.
You have to attune yourself for 4 hours to this one item, and then now you no longer have to attune yourself to
Correct.
that item. Like,
Yes.
It's not a repetitive.
Yeah,
task.
correct. But if you use Elwarin, or sorry, not Elwarin, Llus or BigYin to help you do the attunement, it will only take you 1 hour.
Cool.
Because they are magical
Yeah.
boys that can help you along with your process.
Thanks. That's good to know. All right, I don't have any more questions. Thank
Cool.
you.
Anybody else? Excellent. All right. Go ahead, and he kind of just motions you guys to head out, and he says there will be a cultist waiting for you outside, and they will take you over to the dock with Sholar. Kind of just motions to you guys to head out.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah, he says, good luck. I hope
Mhm.
that these weapons and other trinkets will help you with your
Thank you.
quest.
We'll see you again.
Yeah, I agree. Take care, Jolliver. Said almost said the old guy, Joffer. Joffer right there.
All right, so just chill here. They want you to chill here. He said to wait out, and then the cultist dude will take you to where you need to go. He's just waiting for everybody out. I mean, were you guys holding back to ask a question or say anything? Cromwell? Okay.
No,
Alright.
no.
So they just kind of she's like, all right, well, follow me, and she takes you out this way. You guys can feel free to follow her. And she kind of takes you guys up these stairs. And she says, Sholar, and a man kind of takes a step out. Oh, oops, wrong person. Says, yes, what can I help you with? She's like, these gentlemen are looking to head over to the Red Larch, and Jolliver said you would take them out with you on your way out this morning. He says, do I have to? And she's like, well, Jolliver did say you would do it. He's like, fine, come along. And he kind of motions for you guys to get on the boat, and you guys can just kind of like, you guys can just like kind of hang out outside there. Don't worry about it too much.
Can't see in the middle of the boat.
Well, because there's a door.
Dude, are we only allowed to go on or are we allowed to go in?
Just get on the boat, so however you want. Doesn't really matter too much.
Hey, useless. There's I
I'm
like
in-
that
in
that
the
black box. Obviously, when you yes.
Yeah, I
It's
need. Sorry, I guess I could have like redone the map and made the boat bigger, but whatever. So yeah, everybody's on the boat, and that's where we will end the session for tonight, ladies and gents. Thank you very much.
Alright.